Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. SBS offers live telecasts on Channel 59.3, YouTube, or Twitch. We include pre- and post-game interviews with the players.
You know, I started in the locker room. All the boys were getting going before the game and stuff, and we kind of found a little click at the beginning of the game, so I think that's what got us going.
We also include digital live statistics, play-by-play commentary, team highlight reels, and even more than that. Go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com or search Sports Broadcast Solutions on YouTube. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Postgame Show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith, but my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. The other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense, and Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot, and a goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics, and we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you that just want raw footage of your sporting event, but no play-by-play or color commentary, you just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, We also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. We broadcast sporting events for people of all ages, including adult leagues, high school leagues, and kids. Complete with professional-looking graphics, broadcasters, color analysis, and commercials. We do pre- and post-game interviews with the players. In addition, Sports Broadcast Solutions does highlight films, including college recruiting reels, highlight films you'd see on sports news programs, and just simply highlight films for fun. Sports Broadcast Solutions also provides raw footage and live streams if you'd like. Subscribe to us and listen to our professional talk videos about relevant topics in the pro and college ranks. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, contact us at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital world. This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world.
It's never easy to win the NBA championship. Just ask Denver Nugget fans, for example. Starting as the Denver Rockets in 1967, in the now-defunct American Basketball Association, the Nuggets never made the NBA Finals prior to last season, much less winning the whole enchilada. And then there are teams like the Phoenix Suns who have never won an NBA title. But as bad as the Suns have been during the postseason, other teams have been much worse. In fact, there are 5 teams who have never even reached the NBA Finals. But why is that the case? Bad luck, bad management, not enough time? Each of these franchises are to be analyzed to better figure out what went wrong, what's going wrong, and what may continue to go wrong, or right for that matter. Let's dig a little deeper why these 5 teams have never made it to the NBA Finals. Number 1 on our list, the Los Angeles Clippers. Their best finish was during the 2020-21 season, 47-35 record, and they lost to the Suns 4-2 in the Western Conference Finals. Here's a bad trade for you. In 2019, the Clippers received just Paul George. The Thunder received Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Daniil Gallinari, 2021 first-round pick, which turned out to be Trey Mann, 2022 first-round pick in Jalen Williams, 2023 first-round protected pick from the Heat, 2024 first-round pick, 2025 first-round pick swap, and a 2026 first-round pick swap. Why was it bad? Well, a majority of GMs would have done it at the time, pairing Paul George with Kawhi Leonard after he just carried the Raptors to a championship, as was said in an episode of Fairly Odd Parents.
What could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? But so far, it hasn't paid off like it was supposed to. A disappointing loss to the Nuggets in the 2019-2020 semifinals, a Kawhi-less conference finals appearance in 2020-21, no playoffs in 2022, and most likely not reaching the finals for another couple of years. When Leonard and George play together, the Clippers win about 72% of their games. The problem is, they simply don't play together due to constant injury problems. Most recently, George missed the entire 2023 postseason due to a right knee sprain, and Leonard missed most of the 2023 Western Conference quarterfinals. Simply put, Leonard and George have suffered numerous injuries and ailments throughout their time together. Call it the curse of the Clippers. As recently as January 13th, Paul George suffered a right hamstring injury, and in December, Leonard had already missed 6 games with a right ankle sprain. Entering February 6th, Leonard and George only played together in 25 games in 2022-23. And with Leonard's partially torn ACL during the 2020-21 season, it's safe to say the Clippers' curse is in full force. Consider this. As late as January 26, 2023, Leonard and George only played together in 4 straight games. That means that every 5th games, the Clippers have to play without one of their superstar forwards. It's usually Leonard who's not in the lineup. Entering February 8th, Leonard only started in 29 games and played in 31 overall.
Not only have they not been healthy, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander looks like he could be a legitimate superstar. His numbers last season were simply fantastic, enough for him to possibly win the MVP award. If the dominoes fall correctly and everyone is healthy come playoff time, then this trade could be salvageable. But if they can at least make the finals in 2024, it looks like Kawhi, PG, and the Clippers management may look at other options. Even with Kawhi and PG-13 in the lineup, the Clippers star forwards went 0 for 11 from the field and 0 points during Game 7 of the 2020 Western Conference semifinals. Here's 3 bad draft picks for you during the history of Clippers basketball. In 2010, the Clippers selected Al-Farouq Aminu 8th overall. Career stats, 7.5 points per game, 6 total rebounds per game, and 1.2 assists. Notable picks following Aminu: Gordon Hayward 9th and Paul George 10th. Of course, they ended up with Paul George anyway. In 1996, Lorenzen Wright 7th overall. Career stats, 8 points, 6.4 rebounds, 0.8 assists. Notable picks following Lorenzen Wright: Kobe Bryant 13th, Steve Nash 15th. 1987, Reggie Williams 4th overall. Career stats, 12.5 points, 4 rebounds, 2.5 assists. Notable picks following that: Scottie Pippen 5th and Reggie Miller 11th. When you start with the Los Angeles Clippers, most of the NBA teams who have yet to make a finals appearance at least have the haven't been around long enough excuse. But not the Clippers. They were established as the Buffalo Braves in 1970, then relocating and rebranding as the San Diego Clippers in 1978, to ultimately landing in Los Angeles in 1984, where they have remained since. The Clippers are not only one of the biggest dumpster fire franchises in NBA history, but sports history in general. Here's a fun fact for you. They are the only franchise to relocate 3 times and have more losing seasons than winning in each of the 3 relocations. The Buffalo Braves had 5 losing seasons to 3 winning, San Diego Clippers with 5 losing to 1 winning, and the beloved Los Angeles Clippers with 23 losing to 13 winning. They made the conference finals once in 2021, the conference semifinals 8 times, 3 as the Buffalo Braves, where they didn't have to win a round 1 to get in, and 7 first-round exits. Every team they had up until 2010 is completely forgettable. Every team since then has been completely disappointing. Not that the Buffalo Braves and San Diego Clippers were always terrible. Braves combo power forward and center Bob McAdoo led the league in scoring in 3 consecutive seasons from 1974 to 76. He was even the league MVP during the 74-75 season, but the Braves just couldn't get it done in the Eastern Conference, and once McAdoo left the Braves for the rival New York Knicks, the Braves never made the playoffs again until they relocated to California. Donald Sterling eventually became owner of the team once they arrived in Los Angeles. For 33 years, they were owned by a racist who, coincidentally, was also negligent, cheap, and totally incompetent as the owner of a professional sports franchise. Besides the infamous racist diatribe to his girlfriend V. Stiviano, Donald Sterling's ownership of the Clips was by far the worst in NBA history. Not only did Sterling get fined by the NBA for publicly admitting his team would lose enough games to draft Ralph Sampson first overall, but Sterling was so racist that the United States Department of Justice sued him in 2006 for housing discrimination. Sterling agreed to pay about $2.7 million to settle the allegations stemming from the former Clippers owner refusing to rent apartments to African Americans and black families with children. Simply put, it was a great idea to ban Sterling forever from the Clippers, but his incompetence as an owner drastically hurt LA's chances at reaching the finals. Here's another team for you, the Minnesota Timberwolves. During the 2003-04 season, they finished with a 58-24 record, and they lost to the Lakers 4-2 in the Western Conference Finals. Here's one bad franchise-altering trade. Just last season, the Timberwolves received Rudy Gobert in a trade. The Jazz received Malik Beasley, Patrick Beverley, Leandro Balmaro, Walker Kessler, who was the number 22 pick in the 2022 draft, Jared Vanderbilt, 2023 first-round pick, 2025 first-round pick, 2026 pick swap, 2027 first-round pick, and a 2029 first-round pick. And why it was bad. The problem with this trade is that the Timberwolves are selling out to win immediately. This is a win-right-now move, but it doesn't make them anything really close to a contender. While Gobert doesn't give you anything offensively besides hard screens and putbacks, he's a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. But with a quarter-season sample size, the Timberwolves already sat at 14th in defensive efficiency. They ended the 2022 season at 13. Not an ideal place to be after you sold the farm for a guy who was supposed to turn your team into some sort of defensive juggernaut. On top of that, the Jazz, who made this trade presumably trying to tank, ended up with a similar record to the Timberwolves in 2023. Here's 3 bad draft picks for you. In 2009, the Timberwolves selected Johnny Flynn, 6th overall. Career stats, 9.2 points, 1.9 rebounds, 3.9 assists, and Flynn wasn't in the league for very long. Notable picks following that. Stephen Curry, 7th. DeMar DeRozan, 9th. The Timberwolves selected a slew of point guards in this draft, including Ty Lawson, but Lawson and Curry both didn't play for the Timberwolves, not even one game. In 2010, the Timberwolves selected Wesley Johnson, 4th overall. Career stats, 7 points, 3.2 rebounds, 1.1 assists. Notable picks following Wesley Johnson. DeMarcus Cousins, 5th overall, just the pick following Johnson. And Paul George, 10th. 1989, Pooh Richardson, 10th overall. Career stats, 11.1 points, 2.8 rebounds, 6.5 assists per game. Notable picks following that. Tim Hardaway, 14th. Sean Kemp, 17th. When it comes to the history of the Timberwolves, since their conception in 1989, the Timberwolves have been a complete train wreck 99% of the time. They never had a playoff team until the 1996-97 season, where they were swept by the Hakeem Barkley Rockets. Subsequently, the T-Wolves went on to lose in the first round 6 years straight. Their 7 consecutive first-round exits, 1997 to 2002, remains the longest streak of first-round exits in NBA history. Their one silver of hope came in the 2003-04 season, when the season's MVP, Kevin Garnett, led them to their only conference finals appearance, where they lost to a declining Kobe and Shaq combo in 6 games. After their best season in franchise history, they tanked. Unable to put a viable roster next to the one true superstar they had in Kevin Garnett, they went the next 3 seasons without a playoff appearance before he was traded to the Celtics in 2007, where he immediately won a championship with the Boston 3 Party. Incredibly, one of the reasons that the T-Wolves never advanced to the NBA Finals was the Joe Smith fiasco. This is what happened. Joe Smith signed with the Timberwolves on a 1-year, $1.75 million deal during the 1999 offseason. The whole thing was extremely fishy, especially because Smith turned down an $80 million extension with the Golden State Warriors. The Timberwolves were found guilty of trying to convince Smith to sign 3 straight 1-year deals. This would give Minnesota his Larry Bird rights, allowing the team to sign him to an $86 million contract and go beyond the restrictions of the normal salary cap. Once the NBA discovered that the Timberwolves were guilty of tampering, the T-Wolves forfeited their first-round draft picks for 4 consecutive seasons and were fined $3.5 million. Anyway, 15 years since Garnett won his first and only NBA title, the Timberwolves have only made the playoffs 3 times. Once in 2017-18 with the Jimmy Butler season, where he called All-Star teammate Karl Anthony Towns soft as baby crap and promptly demanded a trade afterwards. The other instances were in 2022 and 2023, where they lost in the first round in 6 games to the Grizzlies and got swept by the Nuggets. There are questions about the maturity of Towns and co-star Anthony Edwards. With the addition of defensive stud Rudy Gobert, who they gave up a king's ransom for, they're currently slated to play in the play-in tournament for 2024 and 2025. They historically have been a routinely mismanaged and dysfunctional team. It's already seemingly impossible to attract blue-chip free agents to historically cold Minneapolis, and the lack of pedigree and structure only makes a free agent's decision easier to avoid the Timberwolves altogether. They're still a relatively young franchise, but 9 first-round exits and 1 conference finals appearance entering the 2023 season in 33 seasons is below ideal. Charlotte Hornets and the Bobcats. Their best finish was in 2000-2001. 46-36 record, and they lost to the Bucks 4-3 in the Eastern Conference semifinals. One bad franchise-altering trade. In 1996, the Hornets received Vlade Divac, and the Lakers received Kobe Bryant's draft rights. Divac didn't finish his career in Charlotte, and he was arguably better once he left Charlotte for Sacramento. But at the time, it looked like an okay trade for the Charlotte Hornets. 3 bad draft picks. 2012, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, 2nd overall. Career stats, 8.4 points, 5.4 rebounds, 1.1 assists. Notable picks following. Bradley Beal, 3rd overall. Damian Lillard, 6th. 2015, Frank Kaminsky, 9th overall. Career stats, 9.2 points, 4 rebounds, 1.6 assists. Notable picks following him. Devin Booker at 13th. 2017, Malik Monk, 11th overall. Career stats, 10.6 points, 2.3 rebounds, 2.2 assists. Notable picks following him. Donovan Mitchell, 13th overall. Bam Adebayo, 14th. History of the franchise: Charlotte has had an odd NBA situation throughout its lifetime. The Hornets were established in 1988, where they played until 2012 when owner George Shinn moved the Hornets to New Orleans, who became the Pelicans in 2013. The Charlotte Bobcats were established in the 2004 season, but changed their name back to the Hornets in 2014, thereby reclaiming their history from 89 to 2012. So they have historically existed from 1988 now to minus the 2002-03 season and 2003-04 season. You could say franchise instability has played a major role in their lack of success thus far.
Kwame Brown is gone. The City of Angels, Hollywood, just should be celebrated. Throw a parade already, whether you win a championship or not. This man was a bona fide scrub. He can't play.
Welcome to the Pregame Show, brought to you by SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone. I'm Kyle Smith, alongside Declan Boyle, as St. Ignatius is about to take on Brother Rice in a crucial Chicago Catholic League matchup. Both teams are 1-1, and you saw on the game film, Brother Rice struggled on defense last week, giving up 30 points to Marist. What are you going to do to kind of exploit that tonight?
We just got to play our game. We got to run up the middle, do our job. You know, we're a triple option team. We always got to just run it down the throat.
Zamora under center today, but that's not new to St. Ignatius. There have been injuries at the quarterback spot before, and McDonough a couple years ago came in, was great. Zamora's coming in today. What is kind of the difference between Zamora and what we saw last week with Wanzon?
Not much. They're both very good quarterbacks. You know, it's battle for a QB position. Wanzon got down. We got to have the next man stand up.
Brother Rice, they like to run the spread a lot, but they're kind of like you too. They like to run it first and then get you to commit, then run play action with the receivers. What are you going to do on defense today to kind of stop the run?
You know, we got the guys to fill the box. It's not the matter of stopping the run. We got to just stop the pass. Like, it's always the goal.
Final thoughts about the game tonight. It's beautiful Fornelli Field, Friday Night Lights.
Hey, it's a great night for a win.
That's Declan Boyle. We're going to take a break. Play-by-play broadcast coming up next here on SBS.
Before we celebrated this special night, before we fell in love with our home all over again, we searched for a company to handle our entire remodel, from architecture and material selection to permits and complete construction with impeccable design. We found Heirroom.
Visit the Heirroom Design Build Center in Lincolnwood to explore your home's potential. Heirroom, architects, builders, remodelers. Your project begins at heirroom.com.
For over 60 years, Heirroom has been creating award-winning kitchens carefully executed by our in-house team of designers and remodelers. With a renewed focus on spending quality time at home, Heirroom has created its most affordable kitchen transformation program yet. Introducing the Revive Kitchen. Imagine custom-made cabinetry, quartz countertops with a waterfall-wrapped island, soft closed drawers featuring walnut interiors, even an invisible phone charging station in multiple colors, styles, and configurations designed to fit almost any home. Over 14 upgrades in all. Call the number on your screen to set up a free design consultation, which includes 3D color renderings of your project. This limited time introductory offer can be yours for as little as $4.99 a month with zero money down or zero interest and installed in as little as 3 weeks. The Revive Kitchen, with all the luxury and experience Heirroom is known for.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another production of Sports Broadcast Solutions. I'm Kyle Smith alongside Jared Thomas. Jared, we should have a good one. It's old-fashioned Chicago Catholic League football tonight. Both teams are 1-1. A disheartening loss for Brother Rice last week. They came all the way back, down 24-0, but they lost 30-24. Not only is St. Ignatius reeling from the loss last week, but no Jack Wanzong tonight.
And for St. Ignatius, with no Jack Wanzong, you lose a prolific part of your offense that can really make some plays with his leg. So going into this game tonight, I look for Justin Scott on St. Ignatius' side. Can he control the game? Last week, this is a Brother Rice team that gave up 8 TFLs, not in their favor. So can he live in the backfield, cause some disruption for his brothers of the Wolfpack? And then for Brother Rice, I think about what quarterback can get them going earlier in this game. It's between Hartz and it's between Brown. So it'll only be a matter of time before we see who does the best.
What's your prediction tonight, partner? I think St. Ignatius can still win under Zamora, but you got to avoid fumbling the snaps like they did last week.
It'll be a tough one, but time will only tell.
Fans, please join us in prayer.
National anthem coming up next. You're watching SBS, the broadcasting network for everyone. All right, so we'll just run that.
The Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Stay on this.
Amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the grace and blessings of this day, for this opportunity to come together under the cherished veil of freedom. We pray for the repose of the souls of the 2,977 victims of the 9/11 attack 22 years ago. We pray in gratitude for all those who serve. And we pray this evening in gratitude for the talents with which you have endowed these young men who will compete on this field. We ask that all their actions, on and off the field, be for the greater glory and honor of your most holy name. We make this prayer through Christ our Lord. Amen. Blessed Edmund Ignatius Rice, pray for us. St. Ignatius, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Father. Please remain standing and face the flag at the east end of our stadium. Tonight, to honor our country, we have juniors Penelope Seitzer and Jack Ennis to commemorate our nation. God bless America. Land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean wide with
Zamora keeps it, and maybe not the best decision there, Jared. Looks like they would have gotten more if they had handed off.
But it's early in the game. Zamora just kind of getting his footing, as long with this offense in that triple option attack from Coach Matt Miller.
33.
Early in this one in the first quarter.
So it'll be 3rd and 3, ball at the 32. Clock runs at 10:52 remaining in the first quarter. Showing blitzes, the Crusaders, led by Leo Nixick. Text line's open. Your favorite high school, college, or NFL memory. Text 330-957-7653. All FCC regulations do apply. Handoff up the middle, snuffed out by the Crusaders, led by linebacker Nolan Smith, a 5'11" senior.
Gain of a yard.
Big time hit there by Nolan.
4th down and 2.
What we do know about this offense for St. Ignatius, once you read your keys, you have to attack. And that's exactly what that Brother Rice defense did there on that play.
4th and 2. Are we going to see what we saw last night with Dan Campbell's Detroit Lions?
No, we are not. Nice and smooth with a punt away. Get your defense out on the field.
This time they're going to punt. Anderson on it, the left-footed kick. It's a line drive one. It's a one-hop style. Good coverage, but somehow getting away from those two defenders. The returner and Kenneth Morris, and he gets a good return out to the 40. So far, so good for the Crusaders.
And this offense comes out with a couple of great players at the skill position, a big-time offensive tackle in Connor Kinziger, who's gotten 7 offers in just 1 year after only playing tackle for last year's season. And at the quarterback position, you have Ryan Hartz and you have Marcus Brown. They play a 2-quarterback system, but look for them to find the hot hand early and roll with them as they've done so many times in the past.
Offense was rolling last week, partner, but the defense was so-so. Defense great in week 1 for the Crusaders. Offense so-so. Let's see what happens in week 3. Slow-moving pass out to the outside, but it does get it done.
Hart's pass complete to number 2.
The 45-yard line go the Crusaders as it's complete to Ricky Taylor.
A similar offensive tack for this Brother Rice team. Coach Casey Quindefeld, coming from Texas, coaching out in California. He's seen all types of styles, and we're going to see a lot of spread, a lot of run-first options here for this offense, as we saw there on that first pass play.
Handoff up the middle. Randall Nowden, the 6-foot run tailback. He'll graduate in May. And first, no, he did not get the first. Yes, he did. He did get the first down.
As I said, with this run-first offense at times, it starts with Randall Newton. The running back in their first game,
good enough for a
30 carries, 110 yards. He is the workhorse out of the backfield that makes this engine go.
Hartz gets the snap, rolls out to his right. Almost picked off by the Wolfpack.
33, Emmett Callahan.
Callahan on the coverage.
Callahan, that's the spirit leader for this St. Ignatius program. St. Ignatius a week ago on the reverse end of some of those turnovers not going in their favor. Those are the types of plays that they need to see happen for their advantage on tonight to get this team out to a good start.
It's so crucial for St. Ignatius to score first with your backup quarterback. Justin Scott moves back a couple yards from the line of scrimmage as they run one in motion that time in Colin Dickman. Screen pass out to the left that time to Taylor. And St. Ignatius read it well, but good job on the yards after catch by Taylor.
Ricky Taylor, the outside threat for this Brother Rice offense. A year ago, 25 catches, 350 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Already getting a healthy dose here to start this game. He's definitely going to have an imprint on this game.
What do you want to do here if you're the Wolfpack? Do you want to blitz or do you just play straight up?
Just play straight up.
Another shotgun look that time by Hartz, one in the backfield. Little hard count that time by Hartz. Good size of the position, 6'2", 180 pounds, the senior quarterback. 2 in motion now, trying to confuse the Wolfpack. And it's a false start against the Crusaders. Oh, maybe illegal motion. Either way, it's a penalty.
It appears to be a sideline warning.
Okay. Sideline warning against the Wolfpack.
Sideline warning instead by the Wolfpack.
Sometimes those coaches get a little excited, almost as if they want to go back to their playing days and get out there and get the guys in the right alignment.
I said false start because right when the sideline warning happened, there was motion and people moving on Brother Rice's side. They do it again. Leading the way is Tommy Amato. Handoff, read well by the Wolfpack, but still a first down for Brother Rice. Good second effort that time by Camden Rogers.
Camden Rogers, they have him listed at 5'6", 140 pounds. So a little bit of a backwards logic there to have him in on third down, but he got the job done. Keeps this offense on the field.
Credit the tackle, the 21, Teddy Cole.
Substitution, they're going to give Justin Scott a breather. He's also limping as well. He's got to get off, though. And St. Ignatius might have had to call a timeout.
There's an official's timeout on the play.
Oh, what a break for St. Ignatius. Almost too many men on the field for the Wolfpack.
As we saw Justin Scott hobbling to get off the field. Obviously don't know what it is at this moment in time, but that'd be a huge blow for this St. Ignatius team.
What a break for the Wolfpack. It looked like they were going to call too many men. Or Matt Miller was forced to call his first time out. One in the backfield. 2 wide receivers to the right. Good snap. Handoff. Stutter step move with room to run. No one's going to catch him, but there's a flag on the field.
On the carry, there is a flag on the play.
We'll wait to see what the nearest ref has to say.
I can assure you, partner, this is coming back with a hold on Ricky Taylor. Got a little bit too handsy and aggressive at the end of that run. Hate to see that on a play where Randall goes for a touchdown, but that play is coming back.
What do they say about misdirection plays when it looks like it's going to be snuffed out by the defense and all of a sudden running room happens? Probably because it illegally happened.
Sometimes that's just a credit to play calling. Great call there. Running back cuts it right, gets it back left, scurries for the touchdown, but that play is coming back. Ill-advised with a holding call by Randall's teammate, Ricky Taylor.
Break for the Wolfpack. 1st and 15. Ball placed at the 30 as they now have Camden Rogers in the backfield. 3 wide receivers set for the Crusaders. Okay, snap. They hand off. Wolfpack on the missed tackle, but then a swarm of Wolfpack are around Rogers. And it'll be second and long coming up for Brother Rice.
Some emotions on this St. Ignatius sideline. Some of the backups going up and down the sideline saying, let's go, let's get in this game. Seems like St. Ignatius dragging a little bit early in this one.
A gain of 4. It's 2nd and 1 from the Wolfpack.
And that's a play that Harts has to get off quicker, partner, as the D-back was way too late to get out to cover the receiver. Late to cover him that time was Michael Collins. Handoff snuffed out by the Wolfpack.
Hayes Mueller, number 10.
Good job by Mueller on the tackle.
Just a timely play, gets in the backfield, makes the tackle, wraps up at the end, which is so key for any defensive player, not just to make the hit, but get him down to the ground, get some energy in Fornelli Field.
3rd and 1, they're going to place it at the 26. All 3 timeouts for the Crusaders. Another shotgun look.
From the 26.
Hard count that time by the QB and Harts. Okay, snap. Now Dean, great job on the run. He's still on his feet as he eyes the goal line, gets inside the 10. And Parter, that's a guy that's getting Division I looks. The Wolfpack got to do a better job of getting inside penetration.
Well, he already did it on one play earlier that got called back, so he said, why not I do it for a second time? Right there, great hole opened up by the offensive line. Newton does the rest, gets down into 1st and goal position.
5-yard line.
Probably 4-down territory right here for the Crusaders.
I like points, so I would say yes.
What if Brother Rice's kicker's on your fantasy team? You want those 3 points, right?
Are they doing fantasy for high school?
They're doing fantasy for everything nowadays, it seems like. No, you're probably right, though. Unless you get sacked, like a brutal 6-yard loss, I think you go 4-down territory here. And that's what's good about running the spread. Shotgun, your chances of being sacked are less. Quarterback has more time to throw the ball. Got to have good snaps, though. Nothing's guaranteed when it comes to snaps in high school football.
Nothing at all, as we saw a week ago with this Fenwick team coming to get this win against St. Ignatius.
Handoff. They go under center that time. Great job that time by Nowden.
21 Randall Naughton on the carry. Gain of 2.
He's going to be credited for 2 yards. Closest man on the tackle was Thomas Anderson.
This running back, Randall, partner, as you said, he is committed to go to Navy. So going against a triple option team on tonight will just be an appetizer for what he should expect when he gets to college.
2nd and goal at the 3. 1 in the backfield. Play action that time by Harts. He's got a wide open man. And that was very easy. Good pitch and catch delivered by Harts. 6-0 in favor of Brother Rice.
It's a very simple concept. You just go a little naked, bootleg to the right, drop it off to your tight end for a touchdown. Great execution by this Brother Rice offense.
6-0 in favor of Brother Rice.
Number 22, Ronan Colkin.
You have to commit to the run, though, partner. 21 was killing them. On that drive, they commit to the run, and then Harts makes them pay.
Once again, it's just in an area of the field where you don't have as much to defend, but as soon as you put your eyes in the wrong place, you end up giving up one.
Ronan Colkin, the kick is good. It's 7-0 Crusaders. We'll take a break. You're watching the Crusaders against the Wolfpack here on SBS. So all you do is mute. No, mute. And then run arrow.
For over 60 years, Heirloom has been creating award-winning kitchens carefully executed by our in-house team of designers and remodelers. With a renewed focus on spending quality time at home, Heirloom has created its most affordable kitchen transformation program yet. Introducing the Revive Kitchen. Imagine custom-made cabinetry, quartz countertops with a waterfall-wrapped island, soft closed drawers featuring walnut interiors, even an invisible phone charging station in multiple colors.
Back to it. Oh, we don't want that. $7-0 in favor of the Crusaders. Colkin on the kick. Not a great one. Close to the sideline, but the Wolfpack have to play it. And diving for more yardage as Clement Carey gets out to the 20.
Fun fact about this Brother Rice team, just a year ago, their kicker, Jack Welniak, was known as a menace on kickoffs. Well, it makes sense because he is now at the University of Louisville playing rugby. So that kicker had a lot of physicality to him. I'm sure they miss him, but he's off doing great things down in Louisville.
Great university. Lamar Jackson's alma mater. Jair Alexander's alma mater as well. They're going to mark it at the 22. First and 10 for the Wolfpack as Brother Rice is begging them to pass. Pitch play out to the left. Good blocking that time by the Wolfpack. Tripped up, but he gets the first down.
Hines on the carry out to the 30-yard, across the 30-yard line.
They run it out to Hines, and we know that the Wolfpack are good at that, Jared, but can they pass it enough to make these linebackers come back in Tampa 2 cover 3 defense?
It goes back to the keys to the game for St. Ignatius. Can Justin Scott live in Brother Rice's backfield? The reason I say that is because it slows the game down, gives your offense more time to run what they are accustomed to running, which is the triple option, outside hitting plays, fullback dives up the middle. And so it allows Zamora to get comfortable throughout this game. You just hope that they can continue to do so.
Zamora under center. They run one in motion. Handoff. Didn't get much.
Barnett on the carry.
Snuffed out by the Crusaders. Barnett on the carry.
Back first down.
But he does get the first. So he did not get the first. I was surprised, partner. I thought he got it on the original pitch play, but Hines on second and short gets it. Yards, maybe 3.
Barnett
see where they spot it. Barnett again on the carry.
Gain of 4.
They said he got 4. I don't know if I agree with that, but all right, 4 yards.
2nd and 6.
This Brother Rice saw another Division I player, the brother of Christian Pierce, big brother Trey Pierce, go to Michigan just last year. I know they're missing him in that middle of the defense, but trust me, they're well equipped up front to get the job done tonight.
This is a Brother Rice team. They went to the quarterfinals. They got dominated by Mount Carmel. Pitch play out to the left. He's got room to run. Tightening that rope, and a great job on the carry. That time by Declan, sorry, no, not Declan Boyle. That's Joseph Tony.
First down, Wolfpack.
Just last week, this St. Ignatius offense was going after Nathaniel Marshall and the Fenwick defense up the middle. Didn't find too much success. Here today, hey, let's get back to the basics. Let's get to the outside and see what yards we can go gain, as we've seen early in this one. St. Ignatius is attacking early and often.
Pitch play out to the left. Hines with it. And it might be a tackle for loss for the Brother Rice Crusaders. We'll see where they spot it. The PA guy says no gain. Getting some friendly spots here, partner. I thought that was a tackle for loss. And they got 4 yards when I thought they got 3.
Justin Scott ran off the field earlier. Didn't get called for the penalty. St. Ignatius must be living right, not getting too many penalties called against them, and some friendly spots, as you said.
Still not great. Whether it's 2nd and 11 or 2nd and 10, still not great for your offense. Hines in motion, and he settles down. Doesn't get much. Like I said, Jared, they're forcing St. Ignatius to be uncomfortable and pass the football.
I think there's also an understanding on Brother Rice's part that, hey, St. Ignatius right now is without their starting quarterback. So if we can just eliminate one of the things that they do well when he's not here, I think we have a good chance of winning. So far, this Brother Rice defense is being pretty stout.
3rd and ball placed at the 42. Zamora under center. Handoff.
Barnett on the carry.
Gets a couple of yards. He's a couple of yards short of the first down. They're going to bring Scott back into the game. Not 100% right now, Jared.
Up 4th and 2.
We see the left ankle taped up by Scott, giving it a go, even though he's probably not at his best right now. But that's what it takes for this team early in the season. Only the 3rd game here in week 3. Need all hands on deck right now without your starting quarterback.
4th and 2. See if they do a quarterback keeper with Zamora. Fumbled the snap again. Crusaders recover and partner. It doesn't matter how much they've been practicing it. That's been the Achilles heel of St. Ignatius all year long.
It's safe to say right now it is the plague of this St. Ignatius team. They just cannot keep the ball off of the ground. And when you can't keep the ball off of the ground, that is what happens. Last week they got saved a couple of times, still being able to retain the possession of the ball. This one, not so fortunate.
Even if they handed it off, Parker, it looked like Brother Rice was going to get the TFL. Got to recover on defense if you're St. Ignatius. Get the ball back. Don't give up any points. Okay, snap. Rolling out to his left. Hartz gets the play off, and the pass is incomplete. Good coverage that time by Boyle.
The end of the first quarter.
And that will do it for the first quarter. So we're going to take a break. More football action coming up next here on SBS.
It'll be second.
No.
10 to go for the Crusaders from the.
Before we celebrated this special night, before we fell in love with our home all over again, we searched for a company to handle our entire remodel, from architecture and material selection to permits and complete construction with impeccable design. We found Heirloom.
Visit the Heirloom Design Build Center in Lincolnwood to explore your home's potential. Heirloom, architects, builders, remodelers. Your project begins at heirloom.com.
Second quarter of action here on SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone. Kyle Smith alongside Jared Thomas as a backbreaker for St. Ignatius. Zamora could not get the handoff off. 2nd and 10. We'll see how St. Ignatius recovers on defense.
Football is a game of gimmicks. Last week we saw Fenwick's offense get out to the perimeter at the quarterback position, see if they could get the ball into the hands of their playmakers. So far here today, Brother Rice has done something of similar fashion. Scored early on one of their first couple of offensive possessions. And on that last play before the end of the first quarter, we saw Hartz roll out to the left. You have to imagine this Brother Rice team watched film. They assessed how last week's Fenwick team was successful, and so far it's working.
This is a Brother Rice team. They can play two different styles of football. They won 10-7 week 1, scored 24 unanswered points last week, but they still lost to Marist.
It helps when your backup quarterback, quote unquote, is a quarterback commit headed to Butler down for Coach Yurimovich down in Indianapolis.
Clean pocket, plenty of time for Hartz. And
pass.
There's a flag on the field, Jared. I'll let you call it, though. Was that a catchable ball?
It wasn't a catchable ball, but you see from Daniel White, receiver for Brother Rice, a little push in the back because he saw he couldn't get to it, didn't want the defender to get there. I like the attitude, but not so slick, my friend. That explains the flag coming out for that one.
Both players have a right to the ball, including the defensive back. Every time you see a flag, you originally think, oh, defensive pass interference, but on rare occasion, it can be also called OPI.
It's just in those off chances that people say, man, you only call defensive pass interference. The ref can say, hey, back on September 8th, I did call one against the offense. Check the books.
So St. Ignatius declines the penalty. They will
on the punt for the
want fourth down instead.
Ronan Culkin.
And here we go, the most exciting play of high school football, the punt.
Carey.
Interesting formation. They got 3 blockers, help out their punter. Slow-moving punt, calling for the fair catch, and misread it.
Call for Clem Carey.
And Clem Carey almost fell on his own feet.
His own 18-yard line.
Ball placed at the 18. Justin Scott can barely walk right now. But he's going to give it another go.
As the #1 player in the state of Illinois,
begin their drive.
I think if you have a hobbled ankle, you're still probably better than a lot of other players in your class. So great gamble here by Coach Miller. Most likely coming from Justin Scott, too. Probably doesn't want to come out of the game. I like the toughness.
So, Jared, you're a former college offensive lineman. You play in the XFL. When you're hurt, is it harder to run block or pass block?
It's a lot easier if you just don't think about it.
Just let that adrenaline kick in.
There you go.
Handoff.
Barnett on the carry.
Second effort. Good job.
Gain of 3, brought down by 97.
The problem with the St. Ignatius offense, it seems, Jared, they just don't have those explosive quarterback keeper plays that Wanzong brought to the table.
Sometimes it's design that fails you a little bit. The design of the offense, the triple option is predicated on a few different options coming out of the backfield on the ground. So when you get into a scenario like St. Ignatius has gotten into the past couple of weeks where you need home run hitters, they're just not equipped to do so. And so they face the repercussions because of that here early in this game.
Under center. Pitch play out to the right. Good job on the blocking as Joe Tony got the first down.
First down, Wolfpack.
It also has to be noted, as a triple option offense, when you continue to run the ball and the other team has the ability to extend the game and blow the cover off the defense, it's like one team is playing chess, the other team is playing checkers. At some point in time, one of the sides gives out, and it's usually the one that can't keep up. Hopefully St. Ignatius does not fall into that trap on here tonight.
1st and 10, it's placed at the 33. Jumbo set, handoff. Callahan, he's grabbed from behind, but he keeps churning those legs. You can't hate the effort of the St. Ignatius team. Can they finish the drives? No more fumbling snaps.
You can't question St. Ignatius' toughness. Emmett Callahan there, grinding his legs, churning them to get some extra yardage. I saw on the punt play for the punt return for this St. Ignatius defense, I saw Declan Boyle go literally deplete the personal protector for Brother Rice. You can't question the toughness of this St. Ignatius team, but they get behind.
Wow. That was all willpower and determination by Leo Nixick.
Leo, a returning player from last year that this defense is definitely going to depend on this season. And he's showing face here on that outside play that he just made on that outside pitch.
So, partner, what do you want to see from skilled position players of St. Ignatius blocking on the edge like that to maintain the edge, help out your running back?
You just have to know that the guy behind you is trying to get outside. So if you can get a great angle on your block, you give yourself a better chance to get some more yards. It didn't get the job done there, but maybe they come back to it later.
This breaks through a tackle. Joseph Tony in the open field.
Tony.
And he's hit out of bounds. 1st and 10 for the Wolfpack.
Knocked out of bounds by 12, Donovan Moody.
Good job that time by Zamora. Good read, and Tony did the rest.
And as we just said on the last play, as the blocker, you have to put yourself in good position to allow the ball carrier to get outside. Right there, Liam Hines did just that. That explains the first down.
St. Ignatius, this is what they love to do. Kill the clock and just play the war of attrition. Still a long way to go to score that touchdown to tie it up. Callahan the backfield, a little bit of wind, another fumble snap. Are you kidding me?
Loose ball at the snap. Recovered by the Crusaders.
Crusaders have it. That's all on Zamora right there, Jerry.
On the play.
It's on the team. You can't keep putting the ball on the ground. You just give the other team more possessions in a game where you're trying to limit possessions. Poor execution there by St. Ignatius.
Flag on the play as well. Should be after the fumble was recovered.
Dead ball foul,
unsportsmanlike conduct against the Crusaders.
Up 15.
Another break for the Wolfpack, but partner, they're just not going to win any more football games when they keep fumbling the football like this.
At some point in time, like it already has, you put the ball on the ground too many times, and it's going to come back to paralyze you as a team. Luckily, so far for St. Ignatius, Brother Rice hasn't been able to put any more touchdowns together from that early drive, but it's only a matter of time.
It happens, though. Rex Grossman, he struggled with, getting those snaps under center. Happens at the NFL level. We saw it last night. Kadarius Toney had a rough game for the Chiefs. Mistakes are going to happen. How can you go beyond that and be a good football player? Handoff up the middle. Pounding his way through. Gets over to the 45-yard line, just Randall Nowden.
With the Tony reference from last night for the Kansas City Chiefs, we see early in that game when you don't make one play and they continue to compound, it ends up being Man, it was detrimental for that Kansas City Chiefs offense, who needed him to make that play at the end of that game, and he could not. But that was no surprise because he hadn't done it all game. Now, you hope with professionals they get it done, but, hey, sometimes it's just not your day.
There was a kicker for the Browns. I can't remember his name, but he missed 4 field goals that day, and the Browns still had a chance to tie the game. After he missed the first 3, you just knew he wasn't going to make the 4th. Once it gets to that point, your confidence is just destroyed. In the backfield, great job breaking through the tackle by Rodgers. He's still on his feet. Rodgers to the left. Tackled from behind, but he's close to the first down marker.
Rodgers on the carry.
At 5'6", 140 earlier in this game, I said, man, why would they have him on the field in 3rd down? But I definitely understand why they have him on the field on 1st down. You just make everybody miss and scurry for a 9-yard gain.
Might be a false start against the Crusaders, and it is.
There's a flag.
Hart's not happy about it. He's telling the center, quicker on the snap. Let's get it off.
Backs him up 5.
Everyone's just a little bit excited. You can feel the emotion from this Brother Rice sideline. They know what's at stake right now. They have a chance to go up 14 points, and they didn't receive the first half kick. That'd be some huge momentum going into this second half for them.
Mathematically, partner, St. Ignatius is still very much in this game. They're only down 7-0. Handoff up the middle. Rodgers still on his feet. 1st and 10 and more for the mighty Crusaders.
Rodgers on the carry. Bo Owen on the stop.
He just seemed to find the seam on the right side. A lot of success for these running backs today, going right, then cutting back left. I have to believe it's because of big Connor Kinziger on the left side of that line, who's already looking at 7 scholarship offers that I mentioned earlier in this game.
Another shotgun. Up the middle. Nowden eyes the goal line, and he gets there.
Carry, touchdown.
Touchdown, Nowden. Touchdown, Crusaders. 13-0, Brother Rice.
Kinziger is 6'7", 280 pounds. I mean, visibly from where we are on this game tonight, you can see that he's just towering over everyone, and that's exactly what he did on that play for his running back, Randall. Just mashed down the left side of that line for Nowden to go for the touchdown. Great play and execution by this Brother Rice offense.
They were thinking about, they were huddled together thinking about going for 2, it seemed like, but they're going to kick the PAT, try to make it 14-0. Kick is up. And it's straight through the uprights. That makes it 14-0, Brother Rice. We'll take a break. You're watching Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Are you looking for some good food after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following home.
Carry back deep.
Kickoff coming up for the Wolfpack. This kick out to the right. And it's going to be an automatic touchback, as that's what it's called at the high school level.
St. Ignatius finding themselves for the second week in a row with their backs against the wall offensively. Without no Jack Wanzung on tonight, I just have to believe that they're feeling a little bit of the pressure that comes with this game, because they know they don't have their starting quarterback. They understand they're already down 2 scores. The offense isn't built to play from behind. The cards are definitely stacked against them right now.
It's up to this offensive line to battle and group and just build some camaraderie around their quarterback. Say, hey, we got you, man. Just get that snap and hand it off. No more fumbles. Wanzong falls down, and he'll just take the sack. It's going bad to worse right now for Zamora.
Big number 58, Joquan Turner.
Loss of 4.
The senior on that play, probably the easiest play that he'll make this year. Just go ahead and put 2 hands on him. Get your stats for the night with the TFL and the sack. Unfortunate play for St. Ignatius. 2nd and long, got to get some execution going.
We talked a lot about Scott, but what can Chris Morris, Boback, do on this offensive line to help out their quarterback, to help out the injured Justin Scott?
Just do your job. Whatever your assignment is on that play, just execute it to the best of your ability and live with the results.
Pitch play, read well by the Crusaders. And he's dropped for a tackle for loss by Jake Duggar.
7, Jake Duggar.
No game.
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Barter.
For any team that goes against this triple option offense, the gap integrity, the assignment responsibility is super key when you're flying downhill and making sure that when it is your time to make the play, that you make your play. Great play there by Duggar as he flew in and tripped the ball carrier up for a great play for this Brother Rice defense.
Special shout out to Mimi Boyle, Eleanor Manning, and the Lemons. Handoff. Actually, it's a quarterback keeper. Zamora is drilled.
Down by number 9, Nolan Smith. No gain. Brings up a gain of a yard. Brings up
fourth and 13. Actually, 4th and 15 from the 15-yard line. Just can't go for it, Parter. Maybe if it was 4th and 8, you could consider it. Too much yards to get here.
Too much bad already happening in this game for St. Ignatius. Just punt the ball off. Let your defense make a play.
Back deep for the Crusaders.
Good punt that time by Anderson. Forces the punt returner a couple yards back. With it now is Morris. And Morris is brought down by a swarm of Wolfpack, but inside St. Ignatius territory as the Crusaders have the ball back.
Robbie Connor on the tackle.
We'll take a quick break. You're watching the Wolfpack against the Crusaders here on SBS.
Sure, my family loves me. They bought me this sweet new collar. My dog bowl is always full of Fido's finest. Heck, they even take care of the personal stuff on my walk. Come on, who does that?
1st and 10 at the 44 for Brother Rice. One in the backfield. Ricky Taylor is out to the right. Fakes the handoff. Clean pocket for Hartz. He scans the field. Right down the middle. Wide open man. First down for the Crusaders.
Hartz pass complete to number 2. Ricky Taylor complete down the...
Great release there by Ricky Taylor on that play. Found his way through the zone defense. Got just behind the safety. Quarterback Ryan Hartz found him for the big play.
First down for the Crusaders from the Wolfpack.
They can sense blood right now. The Crusaders can. Up the middle by Nowden. Read well by Boyle, and he gets credit for the tackle.
Declan Boyle on the stop.
When you sense blood, you do what right guard Nicholas Baser just did right there. You punch him, and then you go back and you punch him again, because in football it is legal to punch guys with your hands right into the shoulder pads. This Brother Rice offense is going quick because they know as time goes down, we have a chance to go up 3 scores. We'll take that all day long.
Not a great snap. Nowden still gets positive yards. Imagine if that was a clean snap, Part. That might have been a touchdown.
It doesn't matter if it's Randall, if it's Camden Rogers. At this point, the Brother Rice running backs are getting whatever they want.
What can this defensive line do for St. Ignatius? 1st and goal at the 2. Hartz is not the quickest man, Jared, but it's only 2 yards.
And no need to be the quickest man when your backup quarterback, Marcus Brown, has the ability to make all of the plays as an athlete. It's a good fail-safe.
They go for it. I thought they would. Kind of surprised that they would run it up the middle, Partner. Try to get Hartz out in space and try to gain those 2 yards.
Not on the 1-yard line. You just hog everybody behind them and just push until you get in the end zone.
They marked him at the 2, so I thought they might try to do outside the numbers.
Hartz on the keeper.
Hartz does it again. And he's not in.
Short.
Do you run it again?
Yes, you do. You just keep running it until you get it.
54.
Are you surprised St. Ignatius is not calling timeouts here, letting this clock drain?
Clock management is on their side when they're ahead. Not sure what the thinking is right now at this point. But, hey, Coach Miller just trusting his defense. Time to be stout and make a play.
And a foot.
Brother Rice letting that clock continue to dwindle. Pitch play, the right ball on the turf. Who got it?
Loose ball recovered by the
Wolfpack with a humongous break.
And that's the byproduct for this Coach Casey offense. When you get too cute on the 1 yard line and you try to fool the defense, you end up fooling yourself. You drop the ball, put the ball on the ground, give it back to the St. Ignatius defense as they get their crowd into the game and their offense trots back on the field. Huge turn of events there.
Right, it's still a mistake by Nowden, but still, you're right. I mean, why complicate things? They kept getting positive yards on that quarterback sneak. Just run it again.
On the recovery.
As players, you're called to execute. As coaches, you're called to put players in good positions. I just don't think that Coach Casey put his running back in the best position on that play.
Still all 3 timeouts for the Crusaders. Zamora has to find a way to get positive yards. Crusaders wait, and now they'll call a timeout. We'll stick with the action.
2. There's a timeout on the field. Timeout, Brother Rice.
Well, you know that Brother Rice is going to continue to call timeouts, Jared, so I know that an incompletion stops the clock, but Brother Rice knows that Zamora is struggling right now. Do you consider play action, see if the Brother Rice bites on it, and go down the field with a fly route?
Time has already passed for them to be considering a pass play. It's time to put the ball in the air to score some points, because if you score points, you win games, particularly when you're down by 14. At some point in time, the ball has to fly in the air, or I'm not sure how much of a chance this St. Ignatius team has to compete in this one.
Incompletion stops the clock, but you know what? Crusaders are going to stop the clock anyways with timeouts. Take your chances, see if you can complete a pass. If you don't get the first down, stay in bounds to force Brother Rice to call a timeout.
2nd and 9.
First things first, get the snap off. The handoff again. Gets to the edge. Close to the first down. And a flag.
Emotions are definitely high in this one. Offensive lineman number 74, Omar Sadan, got a little excited as he did stockpile him and drive him to the sideline and landed on top of him, but it just came a little bit too late. Not the best timing to do that with your team backed up already, and this play definitely coming back.
Right, so he gets credit with the yards, but then after the play, it's 15 yards. So it's basically a wash.
To their own goal line.
Can't totally fault Sadan on that play. He's so focused on his assignment. He's coached to play to the whistle, play through the echo of the whistle, so many coaches tell their players. He did that there. Next time, you just have to be a little bit more cautious for when that whistle blows so you can pull up and not cost your team 15 yards.
So it'll be 1st and 9, ball at the 8. They're trying everything to ignite this St. Ignatius offense with the chalk. Probably the student section. Zamora taking his time. Get the snap off. He does. Handoff. Read well by the Crusaders. Initial guy on the tackle, Joseph Lombardo.
On the tackle.
Another player for Brother Rice making his own invitation to the party on that play was Connor Stack. Great story about Connor. Just last year, he was the JV starting quarterback and safety. He found himself in the playoff game against Collinsville, not only with a blocked punt, but his buddy Nolan Smith blocked a punt himself, and Connor picked it up for the touchdown. Great timely play last year in the playoffs. Great way to invite himself to the party here on this Friday night here at Fornelli Field.
So Crusaders have used all their timeouts. They cannot stop the clock. Wolfpack will have to run one more play. Under center. As the handoff up the middle. Snuffed out well by the Crusaders.
Credit the tackle to 7, Jake Duger.
It's safe to say they may just run this clock out
Wolfpack first down
and get to halftime to stop the bleeding.
14-0 Parter. Look, Brother Rice has played well, but if St. Ignatius could avoid the turnovers, this could easily be a 7-7 or 14-7 game right now.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
All right.
Can only tell in the second half.
We'll find out what happens in the second half. We'll take a break. We'll take a 5-minute break, in fact, then we'll give you some halftime analysis. You're watching the Wolfpack against the Crusaders here on SBS.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. SBS offers live telecasts on channel 59.3, YouTube, or Twitch. We include pre- and post-game interviews with the players.
You know, I started in the locker room. All the boys were getting going before the game and stuff, and we kind of found a little click at the beginning of the game, so I think that's what got us going.
We also include digital live statistics, play-by-play commentary, team highlight reels, and even more than that. Go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com or search Sports Broadcast Solutions on YouTube. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Postgame Show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith, but my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. The other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense, and Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot, and a goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape, but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics, and we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you that just want raw footage of your sporting event, but no play-by-play or color commentary, you just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, We also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. We broadcast sporting events for people of all ages, including adult leagues, high school leagues, and kids. Complete with professional-looking graphics, broadcasters, color analysis, and commercials. We do pre- and post-game interviews with the players. In addition, Sports Broadcast Solutions does highlight films, including college recruiting reels, highlight films you'd see on sports news programs, and just simply highlight films for fun. Sports Broadcast Solutions also provides raw footage and live streams if you'd like. Subscribe to us and listen to our professional talk videos about relevant topics in the pro and college ranks. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, contact us at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital world. This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world.
Back to the action at Fort Ellie Field. Kyle Smith alongside Jared Thomas. The fumbles are hurting St. Ignatius, partner, but let's not talk about the fumbles right now. Let's give you some stats. That's brought to you by Anthony Siragusa, our excellent intern here at SBS. Leading rusher for the Wolfpack. It's Barnett with 40 yards, Hines with 9, Callahan with 5, and 28 in Tony's had a great game as well, at least 25 yards rushing for him. So combined as a team, close to 100, just no passing yards right now for the Wolfpack.
Unfortunately, those rushing yards do not equate to touchdowns, as St. Ignatius has the goose egg right now, but hopefully in the second half, for their sake, that they can get some offense rolling and by way of points, because they need points fast and in a hurry.
2 fumbled snaps. What does the center position have to do to make sure that the quarterback gets the ball? What does the quarterback have to do to make sure he and the center are on the same wavelength?
It's things that you practice every day in practice. Center quarterback exchange for any football team, that is of the utmost importance when a coach or any team talks about taking care of the football. So it starts with the center quarterback exchange, and then from there, with the triple option, there are so many options, the jet sweeps, the dives, that the quarterback has to mentally process and decide who to give the ball to depending on what he reads and what he sees. Unfortunately, they just haven't been able to get on the same page the last couple of weeks, and it's definitely hurt them.
For Brother Rice, it's been good, partner. It should be 21-0, though. The fumble on 3rd and goal at the 1, a killer and a huge helper for the Wolfpack.
If I'm Coach Casey for this Brother Rice team, I'm telling my team that we left 2 scores out there by way of a turnover and not sustaining drives. So if you go into halftime up 28-0, you feel a lot better about your team and what they're going to do for the rest of the game. But you leave that in the first half, come out in the second half, do the exact same thing you did in the first, which was execute, play great defense, force a couple of turnovers, and capitalize on those 2 possessions that you didn't score on in the first half in the second.
How does Zamora regroup and recover from the fumbles that have hurt this team last week going into tonight?
The downside is he's probably going to have to put the ball in the air for the St. Ignatius offense to score some points. So maybe he can, get some fire and emotion from his coaches and his teammates to get his mind in the right place and get this St. Ignatius offense going in the right direction.
In case Justin Scott does not come back for the second half, I mean, you saw him on the sideline, barely able to walk. I'd be shocked if he comes back, but it's still a close game. We'll see what he wants to do. If he can't come back, what can this offensive line for St. Ignatius do to be creative and try to put points on that board?
As they did in that last part of that second quarter with Omar Sadan driving somebody through the echo of the whistle, probably a little bit too much to warrant a penalty flag there, but you have to just play with some tenacity and fight for your brother and Justin Scott, who's not out there with you, and live with whatever results happen because of it.
for Brother Rice? Do you like what they're doing, or would you like to see them pass the ball a little bit more?
I just like to see them continue to be consistent with what they've done in the first half. It's clearly working. They've left some points out there, so come back with the same game plan and get those other 2 scores on the board.
We'll take a break. Second half coming up next here on SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
You are a seasoned loan originator. You've been around the block and have the portfolio to prove it. You should work here. You expect to be compensated fairly. You've earned the freedom to do what you're good at and the support that makes it possible. You should work here. You're a builder of relationships, a cultivator of trust, a deliverer of dreams. You should work here. You are a team player, a culture enhancer, and on most days, a smile provider. You should work here.
We are Wintrust Mortgage,
one of Chicago's top workplaces
for the past 7 years in a row.
And in case we haven't made it clear,
we want you to work here.
You know, it started in the locker room. All the boys were getting going before the game and stuff, and we kind of found a little click at the beginning of the game, so I think that's what got us going.
We also include digital live statistics, play-by-play commentary, team highlight reels, and even more than that. Go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com or search Sports Broadcast Solutions on YouTube. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Second half about to start. Kyle Smith alongside Jared Thomas. It's 14-0 in favor of the Brother Rice Crusaders. And unless things change drastically, partner, on both sides of the ball, looks like Brother Rice will be 2-1 after tonight, and St. Ignatius would fall to 1-2.
And an unfortunate start for this St. Ignatius team. When we talk about identity, we talk about who are you as a person, but then for a football team, who are you as a football team? And for this St. Ignatius football team, you think about names like Vinny Rugai, John Kemp, Henry Helms, Jack Burns, Jake Petro. These are all players that were a part of that 2023 class that just left, that are on now doing some great things at their respective programs and wherever life took them. So this was a group of seniors that came in the last couple of years and really righted the ship in the right direction for Coach Miller and this program. And so with those guys no longer here, the onus falls on Justin Scott, who's hobbled tonight, and some of the other guys like Jack Wenzung, who's not in attendance because of his injury happening last week against Fenwick. So this team is fighting a lot of things to just win games. And so as the season goes along, just continue to stay encouraged, because after a certain point in time, you do figure it out, and you look back on times like this where you didn't and say, hey, that is why we are where we are today, because we kept at the fight.
What are the great things that you've seen from Brother Rice, the good things and the not so good things, because the Crusaders want to win that state championship this year?
It was the offense efficiency, and I think it was a plus and a minus. They scored when they absolutely had to, got a penalty called back for one of their first touchdowns, eventually ended up punching it in. But there were some other times they turned the ball over, didn't sustain a drive, that didn't allow them to operate as high of a clip as they would have liked. So you look for them to come back in this second half and capitalize on those new opportunities.
Tom Anderson set the kick.
Anderson will kick for St. Ignatius.
For the Crusaders.
Colkins is a good kicker. He was the difference maker in that Week 1 win, a 30-yarder to defeat Maine South. 85. So obviously Brother Rice wants to make it 21-0, Jared, but they're fine settling for 3 to still make it a 3-possession game.
And 29.
Knowing Coach Casey is an offensive guy himself, having coached out on the West Coast in Los Angeles, down in Texas where football is probably bigger than the state itself, you have to believe that they're wanting to put more points on the board, and they're probably kicking themselves because they missed out on a bunch of points going on the board in that first half.
Kickoff for Thomas Anderson. You don't think it's going to be an onside kick, but we'll see. It's a straight kick back to the other team. Right down the middle, here come the Crusaders. Open field tackle. And good job staying with the play that time by Hayes Mueller. And I say that, Jared, because some people, when they make the tackle, oh, he's down, and they celebrate. He wasn't down. If he had just, gone to the other way and celebrated, the kick returner still has time to get up and gain more yards.
There's a drill called pursuit drill that all defenses of all levels do everywhere around this country and wherever they play football. And that's simply to get the mindset of the defensive players sprint to the ball and finish the play. It's not just good enough to hit them, but wrap up and finish. And great job there by Hayes on that play.
See what Hart's in this offense can do. Bad snap, handoff, right in rhythm. Nowden still on his feet. Nowden close to midfield, the Navy commit. Excellent job tonight by number 21.
And some just make it look so easy. It almost is as if Randall is just gliding out of the backfield. Some of the gigantic holes that his offensive line are opening up for him, and he just does the rest and make it just look so effortless.
The crazy part is he looks better running the ball when it's a bad snap. One in motion, fake the jet sweep, hand off again to Nowden, powering his way through to the 45-yard line.
Anytime you get a star player at the running back position, you look for a few different things. Can he finish the hard runs with physical contact? We've seen so far tonight from Nowden that he can make the open field play and take it the distance, but he can also lower the shoulder and make those St. Ignatius defenders feel him.
They run Nicholas White wide to the left, as is Tommy Amato. One in the backfield, of course. That's Nowden. Hart's in the backfield, the QB. Fakes the handoff to Nowden. Clean pocket. Pressure comes. Ball loose. And a break for the Crusaders. They get it back.
Tom Anderson on the sack.
Great play there by Anderson. Working on big number 71, Connor Kinziger. Just got his edge on a run action fake to get that pass play set up. Connor just lost the edge. Great play by Anderson. Ball came out, which has been a constant theme in this game. Brother Rice, fortunately, was able to retain possession.
As a QB, what are you trying to do? You know that a sack might happen when you're in the pocket for more than 3 seconds. What do you want to do with that ball? Make sure it doesn't come out.
When you see the defenders coming for the sack, you'd like to get rid of the ball. But on that one, Hartz didn't see him coming. Fortunate that they got back on that ball.
Nowden in the backfield, one in motion for the Crusaders. Not a great snap again. Screen pass coming up for Brother Rice. Callahan can't make the open field tackle. Boyle is there. Actually, the Boyle brothers.
Complete to number 2, Ricky Taylor.
Taylor again. He is just dominating right now against the St. Ignatius defense.
He's another perimeter player in the state of Illinois that has the potential to go and do some special things at the college level. Great coaching, great physical appearance that he has at the receiver position. And he's put himself in great position to go on and play college football.
As of right now, Brother Rice is going to go for it. Trying to draw him offside. Hart's with a hard count. Nowden stays in the game in the backfield. All 3 timeouts as the half just started. They're going to run it to the left. Good pitch and catch. And the first down coming up for the Crusaders, completed to Dylan McDonald.
10, Dylan McDonald.
A week ago, we saw Merrick Hill for Fenwick get out to the perimeter. I've already said it once here tonight, but against this St. Ignatius defense, for whatever reason, once you get out to the perimeter, guys just somehow find themselves open.
31.
Out to the left. Back shoulder play.
Number 2, Taylor. Incomplete.
Just didn't execute. It was actually run well by Hartz and his receiver and Taylor.
For the viewers watching, this Brother Rice offense is operating on a tempo. So any positive play from the original line of scrimmage, they hurry up and get to the ball and try to get another play off. To get the defense, catch the defense off guard, to get another chunk play, to potentially even score a touchdown. Unfortunate part, when you do tempo and you don't make a play, the game slows down and then you have to kind of regroup, as you just saw there for this second down play.
Up the middle. Nowden again. Ball loose. Who got it?
Very loose ball.
St. Ignatius says they have it. We'll wait for the nearest ref. Somehow the Crusaders got it back.
I'm starting to believe it's something about Fort Nelly Field that doesn't allow ball carriers and offensive players to hold on to the ball. I don't know if that's true or not, but man, so far it would say that I am correct.
Something's going on at Fort Nelly. We now have a Division I recruit that can't hold on to the ball. Wolfpack showing blitz. One in the backfield. Handoff, stutter step move.
Rogers on the carry.
And Rogers that time, the 5'6" tailback with a good stutter step move.
Great play by Declan Boyle, who was on the pregame show. It had to have been foreshadowing for him to fill the gap and make a great play like he just did there.
Colkin's got a boot. If he gets to the 15-yard line, definitely within his range. Tackle for loss by the Wolfpack. Are you surprised by that play call right there, Jared?
They're on the plus side, approaching the goal line, in great position to keep this offensive drive going. We take a look at last week against Marist. In the second half to start, Marcus Brown got the start and went on a 14-play drive to get that play or that team going in the right direction. Seeing a little bit there from Hartz here on this offensive drive. Keeping and sustaining plays.
Hart's in the backfield, as is Rogers. Do not fumble the football. As it's a pass play to the left and dropped.
For number 88, Nicholas White, incomplete. Brings up third down.
3rd and 13 at the 23. Remember, Jared, a field goal still gives you the 3-possession lead. Are you aggressive here, or do you be conservative, try to get 5 or 8 yards?
You have to be aggressive here. Why? Because if you go up 3 scores, that's a lot better than only being up 2 scores and a field goal. Having to force this St. Ignatius offense to score 3 times is already putting more stress on them than is already existing right now.
They are aggressive with it. Here comes the pressure, and Hartz is sacked.
There's something to be said for any offensive and defensive scheme that, yes, this is what we do, but we have to do something different to change up the flow of the game. Great blitz there by this St. Ignatius defense, getting the Brother Rice offense into field goal position.
Cooking on the kick.
The ball's placed at the 26. That'll make it a 41-yard attempt. Oh, sorry, 43. Good snap, good hold. Colkin. Wide left.
Kick is no good.
Woo.
despite this Brother Rice offense taking almost 6 minutes off of the play clock, they come up with no points. Great sign and great boost of energy that St. Ignatius need going out on offense for the first time in the second half.
Are you surprised? I know Culkin's got a boot, but if you do the pooch punt there, you maybe get him inside the 5-yard line, make him go 95 yards to score a touchdown.
As you said a couple plays ago, you still have the option to kick a field goal. They went for the field goal. They just didn't get it.
Wolfpack begin their drive at their own 20-yard
Here's the
line.
other thing, two-parter. Even when St. Ignatius gets a couple of first downs, they shoot themselves in the foot with the turnover. So Brother Rice is probably thinking, I don't think they can go 80 yards to score.
Players make plays. It's time for St. Ignatius players to start that trend.
Handoff. Didn't get much.
Barnett on the carry.
Barnett, their leading rusher today, had 40 yards at half. They've just shut down Tony, Hines, and this entire rushing offense of the Wolfpack.
Jaquan Turner on the tackle.
Big Jaquan Turner and Mac Merzine for this Brother Rice defense. It's so tough to see who's making plays against St. Ignatius because oftentimes it's a mosh pit in the middle. But with them being the big defensive tackles in the middle, that play started with them.
2nd and 9, it's at the 21. They have not passed all night, have the Wolfpack. And it looks like they're going to run it again, but they do have a tight end in motion. Handoff. Powering his way through, close to the first down marker.
This would be an opportune time for this St. Ignatius offense to have their starting quarterback, Jack Wanzung, who we've seen the last couple of weeks take it the distance from as far back as 50 yards. With him not being here, can Zamora fill in that void? That's still to be told. But this offense just has to continue to execute and stay in the game long enough to see where it ends up in the fourth quarter. Maybe it's a one-possession game.
Yeah, how big was that fumble by Nowden on 3rd and 1 at the 1? Right now it's 3rd and 2. Ball plays at the 28. Handoff, and they did get the first down. Barnett again.
Good for a Wolfpack. First down.
Any fumble given from one team to the other is catastrophic because it's almost like gift wrapping the most precious Christmas present that you could have, except it's only September. So I wouldn't get too excited about Christmas just yet. But if they continue to give the other team the ball, that's what's going to happen. We're going to see Santa Claus right here at Fornelli Field.
When do you want to pass if you're the Wolfpack?
It's been past due for them to start airing it out.
There's a dad joke. One in motion, that's Hines. Handoff.
Barnett on the carry.
Short gain.
Big number 99, King Liggins for Brother Rice. Shed the offensive lineman quickly, got on the ball carrier, held him up just long enough for his brothers to get there.
End of a yard for Barnett. 2nd and 9 from the Wolfpack 33.
Well, the Wolfpack can score fast. They scored 13 points in 19 seconds in week 1 to beat the Shamrocks. Text line still open. Your favorite high school, college, or NFL memory. Text 330-957-7653. Handoff to Tony. And tackle for loss.
Brought down by number 31.
It should be a tackle for loss, but the Wolfpack have had some very friendly spots tonight.
Loss of a yard.
Very few guys catch my attention in warm-ups, especially at the high school level, just because I'm a little bit older, so I still like to think I'm a little bit more physically gifted than some of these guys out here. But Rudy Perez was definitely someone that caught my eye. Definitely has a build of an Antoine Winfield that plays safety for the Tampa Bay Bucks. And we saw that ability there by Perez to pursue inside out, make the tackle in the backfield, causing a 3rd and 11 for this St. Ignatius offense.
Do you remember his dad when he played for the Vikings?
Yes, I do.
3rd and 11, ball to 31. Handoff.
Evan Callahan up the middle.
As Callahan gets a decent gain. He gets 7. New personnel onto the field for the Wolfpack. I know you don't want to go for it here, partner, but
the Wolfpack,
you're running out of time.
37.
It was the same thing that happened last week in the Fenwick game. St. Ignatius down 2 scores, 27-13, entering the second half. We got into a similar situation where it was only a matter of time before they ran out of time, and time was not on their side to make plays to win the game. I have a sneaky suspicion we might run into that same dynamic here against Brother Rice.
And how many more breaks are going to – he's still on his feet! Oh, my goodness, stiff arm action. Anderson with a touchdown-saving tackle. Flag on the play, though, might be a face mask.
One covered 40-yard return is 20. Tackle by Anderson.
What a return that time by Kenneth Morris. How did he get out of that?
He almost did it at the beginning of the second half. When he got the kickoff, we didn't quite know if Liam Himes wrapped him up. He honestly don't know how, but landed on his feet. And he showed that again there on that punt return, almost breaking one to go the distance.
Inadvertent face mask on the return. Back down to the end of the down.
You don't want to do a face mask there, Jared, but at the same time, if you don't face mask, might have been a touchdown for Brother Rice.
First down for the Crusaders at the 42 of the Wolfpack.
The Houdini act by Morris, and he puts Hearts in this offense in a fantastic spot. Inside Wolfpack territory. Nowden in the backfield, another bad snap. Nowden with room to run. Nowden past the 30, past the 20, past the 10. Touchdown 21, touchdown Nowden, touchdown Crusaders.
If he did it in the first half, he can do it in the second. And we just saw there with the rushing attack of this Brother Rice offense, just too much for this St. Ignatius defense to handle.
A house call for Nowden, and quite possibly the dagger here at Fornelli Field.
You can just feel the emotion, the built-up rage of this St. Ignatius team and crowd, just knowing that the game is just constantly getting out of reach by the second. We talk about pass offense maybe being the answer, but maybe that may not even be the answer.
At this point, if St. Ignatius were to score on this upcoming drive,
kick is good.
You almost think they have to do the onside kick. I know it's still early in the second half, but how many more chances are you going to get the ball back?
Let's not get it mistaken. St. Ignatius has to do something. Onside kick, trick play. They have to do something to score some type of points to even be able to hang around in this game because it's getting out of hand.
We'll take a break. You're watching the Crusaders and the Wolfpack here on SBS. Back to the action at Fornelli Field. Kyle Smith alongside Jared Thomas. As it's a kick to the 10-yard line, picked up by the Wolfpack as Clement Carey tackled quickly, that time by 38, Nolan Daly.
Going back to this rushing attack for Brother Rice, Randall Nowden's obviously leading the charge, 110 yards in the first game of this season. Found himself with 170 yards in last year's playoff matchup against Collinsville. But I have to be honest, they're actually missing a running back who went on to be with Simeon this year in T-Shawn McGee, who just last year had 58 carries for 262 yards and a touchdown. I wouldn't say they're missing him because Randall and Camden are both getting the job done here tonight.
Well, Wanzong might be back next week. It doesn't really matter who's under center, though, partner. Wanzong was fumbling snaps, running backs fumbling the ball. I mean, you can't win football games when you're fumbling the football.
It's time for St. Ignatius to say, we got to look in the mirror and what team do we want to be this year, and how are we going to turn this season around? And that has to come quickly.
Handoff up the middle like they've done most of the night. And this time, actually, no, it's quarterback keeper for Zamora.
Brought down by number 31, Rudy Perez.
Time running out for the Wolfpack. They got to score 3 times. So that's 3 possessions, Jared.
From the 27.
Knowing they don't pass the ball, you think they're going to score a touchdown with 8 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Probably an onside kick option for Matt Miller.
As we already stated, they have to do something to change up the complexity of the game, because right now they're leading towards losing this game by 5 touchdowns. So hopefully Coach Miller can get his team fired up to better execute and make some plays down the stretch.
Another handoff for the Wolfpack. Barnett
Gain of a
got the
half
handoff
yard.
for Zamora.
3rd and 5.
He gained less than a yard. 3rd and 5 coming up for St.
From the
Ignatius.
28.
I want to correct myself. Although this team does need to look in the mirror and see what they need to do, they're also without their 2 best players, Jack Wanzong, the quarterback, and Justin Scott, their Big Ten defensive linemen.
Yeah.
But more importantly, this is a team that has established some winning ways the last couple of years. So for this team to go on and do some great things in this season, it has to change quickly.
Pitch play. That time to the tailback and Hines. He does get out of bounds.
Hines on the carry. A gain of 12. Good for a Wolfpack first down.
1st and 10 for the Wolfpack. And what's good about that, too, Jared, is he gets out of bounds to briefly stop the clock.
And clock now needs to be their friend now that I see that it's running again. So they may just let this go to the 4th quarter.
1st and 10 for the Wolfpack from their own 36.
Yeah, it's just not a team that has shotguns as part of their offensive arsenal. So a team that has 10 seconds left on the clock can get the ball off quick in a shotgun formation. For the Wolfpack, it takes more time to get back to the line of scrimmage and get a play off.
Maybe Coach Miller has some blindfolds that he can put on the players of Brother Rice and allow them to catch up so we have ourselves a game in the 4th quarter.
Well, I've seen crazy things in football. Like I said, I was at that Browns-Bears game back in 2001 where the Bears scored 14 points in a minute. Anything can happen, the miracle at the Meadowlands, but are we going to get the miracle at Fornelli? I don't know. We'll find out. We're going to stick with the action. 12 minutes left of football. Kyle Smith alongside Jared Thomas. If you like what we do at SBS, go on our website, sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. We do everything. Rowing, cricket, lacrosse, obviously American football, as they say in Europe. 21-0 lead for Brother Rice. You kind of expected it, partner. A team that's in 7A that has a huge level of success with their program. St. Ignatius, recent success. No Jake Petro this year, among other seniors. No Jack Wanzong tonight. They're doing their best, but for a team that doesn't pass the ball, they got to find a way to get some completions in this 4th quarter.
It's 1st and 10 Wolfpack.
It's the expectation for Brother Rice to make it to the state championship and to compete. So with that being the case, St. Ignatius has had to bring their lunch pail today, and they have gotten the best of Brother Rice here tonight.
Robbie Connor on the carry.
Connor gets the carry, and it's snuffed out well.
Gain of 2.
That time by the Crusaders' Nolan Smith.
It is 2nd down. It's 2 on the box.
2nd and 8. Ball placed at their own 36. Not a lot has gone right for the Wolfpack tonight.
Second and 8 from the Wolfpack 38.
It's 21-0, and remember, the Crusaders fumbled at the Wolfpack 5-yard line. Delayed handoff. Barnett again.
Robbie Connor on the carry.
It was Robbie Connor.
Have we even seen a pass play here tonight?
4 brings up.
I don't think we have.
3.
Well,
judging off the play calls so far in this 4th quarter, I don't think we will.
I'm surprised. I know that Wanzong will most likely be back for week 4. But don't give up. I mean, try it. I know you don't want to give up a pick 6 and lose 28-0, but you got to try something here because the running game just isn't working.
A lot of things not working tonight here for St. Ignatius, but they've continued to fight. And so when they watch this film, they want to say, hey, we had great effort. Now we just have to execute better when our playmakers get back on the field.
Hines to the left. Dives for the first down. Clock continues to run, but it is stopped, so he did get the first down.
Good enough for a Wolfpack first down. 1st and 10 Wolfpack from their own 46.
One of the issues with the triple option, partner, it's hard to play from behind, and it's hard to play no huddle because everything's under center.
With spread offenses, as you've seen tonight here with Brother Rice, you can throw it down to Ricky Taylor, put yourself in good position to score points. In the triple option, you don't have those one-hitter plays that can go the distance. You're just banking on the run, going there.
Yeah, pass play intended for Hines.
Incomplete.
And sorry to the audience, I lost my train of thought as I saw the first pass play for St. Ignatius on the offensive side of the ball.
That's why Matt Miller is one of the best coaches in the IHSA. You never know when he's going to pass.
He got me there.
Jake Duger that time with the deflection. As taking a seat for the Wolfpack will be Michael Mundo. 2nd and 10, ball placed at the 46. Handoff, still on his feet. Good job that time by Robbie Connor.
All alone on the carry. Gain of 10, good for a Wolfpack first down. Brought down by number 5, Joe Lombardi.
Despite giving up that first down there, this Brother Rice defense doing well without their formidable superstar at linebacker, Christian Pierce, who's gotten all of the offers in the book, most notably Ohio State, the brother of Trey Pierce, who is currently at Michigan. He is the anchor of this defense, 100 tackles last year in 2022 season. Him not out here on this field today could have been of detriment to this Brother Rice defense, but so far they are holding up well.
Pitch play, good read that time by Zamora. Hesitation move, then finally brought down. Tackled on the play, that time by Kenneth Morris.
Gain of 7.
Inching closer to the goal line, partner, but it's costing them a lot of precious time off that clock.
The more seconds that come off that clock, the less time you have to score 3 touchdowns to tie the game and put yourself in position to win.
You would think they're going to pass here, but who knows? Handoff again.
Robbie on the carry. Connor first down.
Brother Rice is doing a good job, partner. They're keeping them in bounds. They are not letting them get to the edge most of the time.
And there's a natural tendency, just in human nature, but especially on a high school football team, when you're up 3 scores, to lose focus. You say, hey, man, we've already won.
Right.
The game is pretty much over. But so far, some friendly spots not going their way, but this Brother Rice defense is definitely staying locked in to the game plan and fighting to the end.
Pitch play, that time to Hines. Hines desperately wants to get out of bounds. He eyes it.
Pitch to Hines, a gain of 8.
And he got out.
Rushed out of bounds by number 12, Donovan Moody. 2nd and 2.
I mean, you got to think if St. Ignatius scores a touchdown here, they're going to have to do the onside kick.
Crusader, 25.
Go for 2 as well. Go for the onside kick. Trip a couple people. The list goes on and on.
Going for 2 would be interesting because that would make it 21-8 instead of 21-7 if you convert, of course. Clock stops. It has not been reset yet. Stutter step move, that time by Tony.
Joe Tony inside the 20, first down, Wolfpack.
We've seen Coach Miller go back to some of the outside hitting runs that in that first couple of offensive drives they had in the first half, they found some success. Now, just in the fourth quarter, they've gone back to it, have marched down the field a little bit here.
First down, Wolfpack at the
I'm just a little bit afraid that it might be too little, too late.
It's a problem when you don't pass. What's good about the pass, it stops the clock on incompletions, stops the clock on first downs, and stops the clock if you get out of bounds. Hard to get out of bounds when you run the ball all the time. Wow. He was drilled
on the carry.
at the point of attack.
Humongous
hit.
By number 50, Max Burns.
Burns on the tackle.
Great play by Burns there to shed the offensive lineman. Found himself at the party, right at the point of attack.
2nd and 9.
It's a lot easier when you can make the play when the guy just falls right into your arms. You just take him to the ground.
Never is it good for a running back when they're hit just when they get the ball. Handoff again.
Callahan and the carry.
And Callahan
Gain of a couple.
is credited with a couple yards on the carry.
To this Coach Miller team credit, this is the daunting part about this triple option offense. If you do have the lead, you can control the clock, which makes the opposing team get a little bit antsy.
3rd and 8.
That's not the case here tonight, but you can see that fabric in this offense and what it could do with a lead.
Brother Rice, they won week 1. Granted, Maine South's quarterback, Jack DeFilippis, exited the game with injury. 3rd and 8. Ball at the 18. Pitch play. To the left to Hines. He's got to get out of bounds. He knows that. He tries
Hines
to.
on the carry.
And the refs say he got out.
Gain of 3.
4th down coming up. Down 3 scores. Cannot attempt the field goal. Play of the game. If Ignatius converts, they're still alive. 4th and 6. It's placed at the 16. Now do you pass, Jared?
I'm not going to say what you should do. Coach Miller threw me off with the pass a little bit earlier, so I'm just going to wait and see.
Got to get 6 yards for a first. Pitch play. It's a flea flicker. He's wide open. Touchdown, Wolfpack!
At the beginning of the second half, we said trick plays, we said onside kicks, we said something magical, and that's what it's going to take. Now they just need to mimic that 2 more times to cut this lead to a tie.
Wow. Look, you can't be mad at Brother Rice. Of all the plays that I thought Matt Miller was going to run, a flea flicker on 4th down when they hadn't completed a pass all night was one that I would not think of at all.
In the state of Illinois with high school football, where you at least expect the craziest plays. We saw that there.
Jared, that was so crazy. I don't even know if Dan Campbell for the Lions would have called that play. But it worked, and when it works, you're a genius as a head coach. We'll take a quick break. It's 21-7 Wolfpack. 21-7 Crusaders here on SBS.
For over 60 years, Heirloom has been creating award-winning kitchens carefully executed by our in-house team of designers and remodelers. With a renewed focus on spending quality time at home, Heirloom has created its most affordable kitchen transformation program yet. Introducing the Revive Kitchen. Imagine custom-made cabinetry, quartz countertops.
So I apologize. He did miss the PAT, 21-6. You assume an onside kick here. And Jared, you just got to make sure that ball's high enough, give your teammates a chance to get it.
And past that assumption for an onside kick for this Coach Casey, Brother Rice offense, as a player, all you're doing is telling your brothers on the sideline, hey, now it's our time to answer with a touchdown and a score, which at this point in the game would definitely put it out of reach.
Up in the air, ball loose. Brother Rice got it back.
Onside kick attempt was
pretty good kick, though, by Thomas Anderson. Things were getting interesting. By the way, you don't have to wait for that ball to get 10 yards. You can go get it whenever you want, Brother Rice.
He waited, got the ball right in the chest, went down to the ground. He did the safe thing. He made the play happen, got the ball back to his offensive teammates so they can get out on this field and start their own drive.
The old 5-minute, 6-minute offense. Get first downs and end this ball game. Remember that Falcons-Cowboys game where the Falcons forgot? They were on the receiving end of the onside kick. We have to wait till it goes 10 yards, right? No, you're on the receiving end. You can pick it up whenever you want. One in the backfield for Hearts. Nowden. Even when it's a broken play, he still gets positive yards.
Mueller on the tackle.
And whatever you do, partner, probably avoid the jet sweep because a jet sweep gets closer to going out of bounds.
Any play that could potentially put the ball on the ground or cause a negative play, let's just make sure that we call those that go forward and go through the line of scrimmage.
Or does not go out of bounds. If you have to take a sack or you have to take a tackle for loss, do it in bounds. 2nd and 6, ball at the 46. Hand off to Nowden. Nowden! Still on his feet. 1st and 10 for the Crusaders.
Carry. Brought down by number 23.
As I'm sure all opponents do, this Brother Rice team is now having the 3rd straight game on the road. We'll go to Loyola Academy next week for the 4th straight road game.
Good for a Crusader.
And this is what I think is just an audition for how it's supposed to go later this season. Because at some point in time, they're going to have to face Mount Carmel, who in 2021 they went 2-0 against before they lost in the semifinals to Wheaton North. Last year they went 0-2 against and lost a big-time game in the quarterfinals against Mount Carmel 12-48. So this Coach Casey team is just fine-tuning all of the little details that they need, because at some point in time this season, Mount Carmel's going to be looking at them like, hey, it's you and I, time to tango.
Not a great snap over to Rogers as he rolls over to the right off his right tackle. And we'll keep the clock rolling.
Rogers.
Keep it running. And
Declan Boyle on the tackle.
St. Ignatius desperately needs a fumble recovery here.
A gain of 5 down the Wolfpack 30-yard line.
Impressive, though, by this offensive line for Brother Rice. They had a game plan, they had a mission, and they achieved it tonight.
And that's all you can ask for as a coach, and that's all you live for as a player. When you have a game plan against a tough opponent, you just want to go in and execute and do whatever it takes to win by just 1 point. Tonight, so far, they're up by 15. It could be more, but they've done their job so far here tonight.
Right, very few mistakes. Rogers, right up the middle. It's a house call for Rogers. Put 6 on the Jumbotron. 27-6. It's a Brother Rice victory at Fort Nelly Field.
Just a simple guard kick-out scheme by the left guard, getting on his horse, kicking out that defensive lineman, opening up that huge hole for Rogers to run down. This Brother Rice offense is rolling tonight. As I said, St. Ignatius scored, but it was Brother Rice's turn. They made good on that one.
Yeah, I mean, when you play a team like Brother Rice, you have to limit the possessions. They gave Brother Rice 2 extra possessions with the fumbles. Brother Rice gave St. Ignatius an extra possession with the fumble inside the 20. But, yeah, too many fumbles by St. Ignatius as the PAT attempt is good. 28-6. We'll take our final break of the night. You're watching the Wolfpack against the Crusaders here on SBS. To 6. It's all Brother Rice tonight. 95 yards rushing for Nowden in the second half.
For the Crusaders.
It's been his night tonight.
And he's made about 85 of them look super effortless. Great effort here tonight by not only Nowden, but his teammates of Brother Rice.
Automatic touchback called by the sideline judge.
And why not say effort again for the 3rd time in a row in back-to-back sentences? That's one of the cornerstones of this Brother Rice offense and team: commitment, discipline, accountability, and effort. One of the things that Coach Quindenfeld wanted to make sure this team had as they stepped onto the field with him taking over last season in his first year as head coach. I think his team has made him look good in that regard here tonight in this dominating effort of St. Ignatius.
Well, we were wondering how Brother Rice would recover after giving up that touchdown to Maris with 38 seconds remaining, but they recovered well tonight. Another pass to the sideline, contact made.
For number 6,
most likely going to be defensive pass interference against the Crusaders. On the coverage was Donovan Brown.
Number 3, Donovan Brown in coverage.
In the NFL, it's a spot foul, and in high school and college, 15 yards. Wow, roughing the passer as well.
Going back to what you said last week's matchup between this Brother Rice team and Marist, Brother Rice has a monstrosity of a left tackle and Connor Kinzinger, but Marist has a receiver, Stephen Brown, 6'7", went for 100+ and a touchdown, as long with their quarterback, Owen Winters, 256 of the total 308 yards. Marist got the job done last week, but Brother Rice has bounced back in a major way this week.
And look, I know it's been a little easier for Brother Rice at times with the starting quarterbacks getting injured or not starting the game, as that's a play out to the left that time to Callahan. But look, Hines. But all you need to do is execute. If things go your way, okay, but you still have to execute, and Brother Rice has done that in 2 out of their 3 games this year.
And you talk about the 2-quarterback system. Last year at the start of the season, it was Hartz that was a starter. Then it was Brown that came in and gave the team a spark that it needed. Unfortunately, as you said, he got hurt in Week 6, came back for the playoffs. But the byproduct of having 2 quarterbacks is, as I said in the beginning of the game, you ride the hot hand of whoever is producing the most. And that's what Hartz has done here tonight, and we haven't had to see Marcus Brown, the quarterback, headed to Butler next year.
It's been an easy job for Hartz. He just has to hand it off to 21 or 28, and they do the rest.
5 from the 41.
3rd and 5. Ignatius playing garbage time now. Zamora, quarterback keeper.
Zamora and the keeper brought down by number 3, Donovan Brown.
Brown makes up for his defensive pass interference with a nice open field tackle.
On the play brings up 4th down and 2.
If I'm Coach Miller, I trash the first half of this game. I look at the second half going into the next week's game. The reason I look at second half film is because that is when they got into more of the flow of the game. That is when they started to execute. They even put up a touchdown. So if they can replicate second half effort from today into next week's game for the entirety of the game, they put themselves in good position.
Timeout called by the Wolfpack. We'll take a timeout as well. You're watching SBS, the broadcasting network for everyone. Number 6, 28-6, Zamora under center. Handoff. Snuffed out that time by the Crusaders.
Brought down by number 8, Connor Stack.
That stop came from big number 99 for Brother Rice, King Liggins. He was the first one to get contact on the ball carrier, setting it up for his teammates to come clean it up.
Crusaders take over on downs.
2:34 remaining. Well, we saw a flashy play. We saw the flea flicker. Things got a little interesting. The onside kick was very interesting. Could have gone either way, but good job of Brother Rice recovering it.
It'll be first down for the Crusaders from the Wolfpack 41-yard line.
Just can't turn the ball over, and you especially can't turn the ball over against a good team like Brother Rice.
Winning's already tough as it is when you don't turn the ball over. Then it becomes extremely difficult when you spot them a couple times. And that's what's happened tonight for St. Ignatius, giving the ball to Brother Rice.
Injuries happen. It helped out Brother Rice with no Wanzung, no Justin Scott in the second half, but St. Ignatius, they got to find a way to execute because players get hurt. Football's a tough game. Handoff again. Broken tackle. They're now at the third string running back, and he's making plays. That time it was handed off to 27, Michael Carroll.
Brought down by number 3, Mikey Collins.
Everyone getting a piece of the pie here tonight in the running back room for Brother Rice.
First down for the Crusaders.
Now into the game, Richard Willis, the tailback, the 5'6" tailback, in fact. Terrible snap. Handoff to Willis. He's still on his feet. Willis eventually goes into contact after a good 3 yards after the line of scrimmage.
If Brother Rice turns on this SBS broadcast and hear you say terrible snap. I think they've always had a positive play. So maybe they'll pay you a little extra money to continue to say terrible snap so they can keep rolling offensively.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like, you know, because everything in football is about rhythm, so these D linemen expect a good snap, and then when it's bad, they're like, okay, let me get off the block to get that, you know, fumble snap over his head. And then once they get overexcited, he runs to the right. I'm not saying that's what's happening. That would be my guess.
Sometimes those centers getting the ball to the quarterback get excited. They see a linebacker they can bury, and they forget to put the ball on target on the snap.
A loss of 5.
That was the worst snap of the night, and not even Hartz could, with his 6'2" frame, could handle it initially.
New quarterback in for the Crusaders, number 18, Austin McDonald.
McDonald will now play quarterback for the rest of the game. Ignatius could call timeouts, but why? You're down 22. No need to prolong the game.
It's 3rd and 10 from the Wolfpack 30.
See what McDonald wants to do here. He might just take a knee. They'll run it again. Up the middle.
Hand off to number 27, not listed in your program.
I mean, the public address announcer is not wrong.
Again,
but you don't have to announce it. But I like it. And St. Ignatius will just let the clock run, as will Brother Rice, and that does it. 28-6.
We thank you for the
Brother Rice outscored him 14-0 in the first half, 14-6 in the second half. St. Ignatius gave their fans something to cheer about with that 4th down flea flicker play, but besides that, it was all Brother Rice tonight.
It's time to go back to the drawing board for St. Ignatius. Look at the things that they did well in the second half. Go back into practice this upcoming week and say, let's put that game behind us, move on, and let's get this thing rolling in the right direction.
It's a short week. Got to get ready for Marist. It's another tough game. Marist they did beat this Brother Rice team. Brother Rice almost came back, down 24-0. So similar styles. Marist likes to pass the ball a little bit more than Brother Rice. We'll see what happens, but St. Ignatius has to make the adjustments if they're going to win next week.
Marist is Stephen Brown, and Owen Winters will be happily waiting for the St. Ignatius team to show up on next Friday for another similar type game that we saw the last couple of weeks.
So for our excellent crew, that does it for our play-by-play broadcast. Post-game show coming up next. For Anthony Saragoose, Kyle Anderson, Jared Thomas, and Joe Midgel, I'm Kyle Smith. 28-6 final score in favor of the Crusaders, and the post-game show coming up next here on SBS. Thousands was a weird time for the NBA, a post-Bulls Jordan league that lacked an overall depth and talent, yet was the last premier era of the NBA big man. You had established superstars such as Shaquille O'Neal, Chris Webber, Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan, and Alonzo Mourning. You had the up-and-comers such as Kenyon Martin, Marcus Camby, Ben Wallace, Dirk Nowitzki, Pau Gasol, Tyson Chandler, and Elton Brand. You even had the veteran Hall of Famers on their last leg, such as Hakeem Olajuwon, Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, Karl Malone, and Dikembe Mutombo. Truly a golden era of big man in every phrase of the word. And the big man we'll be focused on today would likely fit in the early 2000s up-and-comer bracket, Jermaine O'Neal. Drafted 17th overall straight out of high school in the historic 1996 NBA draft class that featured Kobe Bryant, Ray Allen, and Steve Nash. O'Neal became the youngest player to ever play in an NBA game at that time. His career lasted 17 seasons, playing for the Trailblazers, Pacers, Raptors, Heat, Celtics, Suns, and Warriors. After joining the Pacers for the 2000-2001 season, O'Neal's career hit an apex that lasted from the 2001-2002 season to the 06-07 campaign. This stretch included 6 straight All-Star appearances, 3 straight All-NBA teams from 2002 to 2004, he was second team in 2004, and a conference finals appearance in 2004. In an era stuffed with centers and power forwards, who ranged from high-quality starters to Hall of Famers, O'Neal was regarded as one of the best in the league during that time. As impressive as he was during his peak, was it enough for him to be considered for the Basketball Hall of Fame? As good as he was as a Pacer, the rest of his career was average at best and arrestable at worst, pun intended.
He started in Portland for the 1996-97 season, where he played the next 4 seasons. These Portland teams made the playoffs each season he was there, and even made the conference finals back-to-back years in 99 and 2000. In 2000, they took the Lakers to 7 games, losing 89-84 in the historic game that featured the iconic Kobe to Shaq alley-oop in the closing minutes of the game. By the way, Portland was up by more than 10 points in the game. It was a very successful run for Portland, a run that O'Neal had little to nothing to do with. During his time with the Trailblazers, O'Neal never averaged over 13.5 minutes per game. His most impactful season came in 1998, where he averaged 4.5 points, 3.4 rebounds, and 1 block per game. As underwhelming as O'Neal's career was when he was with Portland, it's hard to place a ton of blame on him for his struggles. In a time where selecting a high school player was still considered a taboo move, he was a teenager playing with grown men. The center and forward positions were especially stacked for Portland, in a roster that featured Arvydas Sabonis, Rasheed Wallace, Scottie Pippen, Detlef Schrempf, and Brian Grant. Unless they're an instant generational talent, it's extremely hard for a young prospect to get playing time for an NBA team contending for a title. You even see this in today's NBA, with the Golden State Warriors still trying to figure out how to fit their younger prospects into the rotation. Hard to hold Jermaine's first 4 seasons against him. After the Pacers went into a mini rebuild parting ways with veterans Mark Jackson, Rick Smits, Chris Mullin, and head coach Larry Bird, they traded for O'Neal in 2000. He was put into their starting unit and instantly made huge strides, posting career highs in every major statistical category other than field goal percentage, which makes sense because he went from taking 3 to 4 shots per game to 10 plus. He would average 12.8 points, 9.8 rebounds, and 2.8 blocks for the 2000-2001 season. His next 6 seasons would be what defined his stardom, as he would team up with future Hall of Famer Reggie Miller and future Defensive Player of the Year Ron Artest. But with an aging Reggie Miller and the unpredictable personality that was Ron Artest, O'Neal ultimately became the best player and most valuable player for the Pacers during this time. He averaged 20.4 points, 9.9 rebounds, 2.1 assists, and 2.4 blocks per game, shooting 45.9% from the field between 2001 to 2007. He also had 39.3 win shares, 25.7 defensive, 13.6 offensive, a plus-minus of 1.7, 1.0 defensive, and 0.8 offensive, and a player efficiency rating of 20.3 in those seasons. To put these stats in context, one player who puts up similar numbers to O'Neal in today's game is Domantas Sabonis. While a much better passer than O'Neal ever was, and not quite the defender, Sabonis has 43.5 win shares, 25.8 offensive and 17.7 defensive, a plus-minus of 2.3, 1.3 offensive and 0.9 defensive, and a player efficiency rating of 19.3. Sabonis just recently finished his 7th season. O'Neal's success on the court translated to the success of the team. The Pacers would win 312 games to 262 games lost and make the playoffs 5 out of 6 possible seasons from 2001 to 2002 to 2006 and 07. His play would get him into 6 straight All-Star games, the 2001 to 2002 Most Improved Player Award, and 3 All-NBA teams. His best season was in 2003 to 2004, where he averaged 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 2.6 blocks. He started 78 games that season, made second-team All-NBA, and finished 3rd in MVP voting. The Pacers would go 61-21 that year and make it to the conference finals, where they lost in 6 games to the 2004 NBA champion Detroit Pistons. By 2004, O'Neal was certainly in the conversation with best big men in the league. At that time, that conversation included players like Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan, and Dirk Nowitzki, 4 players with Hall of Fame resumes, if they're not in already. But it would be the 2004-05 season that would define O'Neal's career, and not in the way anyone would have hoped. The Pacers started off the season hot with a 7-2 start, which would have projected them to finish the season 64-18, 3 wins better than the last season of 61-21. Then, in a game against the Pistons on November 19, 2004, it all came to a crashing halt. The Pacers had a commanding 97-82 lead over their division rival in the closing minute of the road game in Detroit. After a hard foul at the rim on Ben Wallace by Ron Artest, an enraged Wallace came after Artest. Wallace had to be held back by teammates and security for multiple minutes, while Artest was moved by the scoring table, where he started to lay down. As Artest lay down on the scoring table, a fan threw a drink at him, which instigated a brawl that caused Artest and teammate Steven Jackson to run into the stands and throw punches at the fan. This incident was ultimately dubbed Malice at the Palace, a notorious brawl that transcended basketball and changed the landscape of the NBA forever. As some fans eventually started to run onto the court, O'Neal punched a man in the jaw who was running at him. He was subsequently charged with assault and battery for his role in the incident and was sentenced to a year of community service. He was initially suspended 25 games for the incident, but an appeal knocked that down to 15 games. Though O'Neal had a limited/non-instigatory role in the Malice at the Palace, it certainly left a black eye on his legacy as an NBA player. Not something that bodes well for a Hall of Fame case. Once O'Neal got back from a suspension in December of 2004, he was never really the same player. On top of the suspension, he had to miss multiple games during that season with a lingering shoulder injury. He finished that season with 44 games played, and the Pacers finished with a 44-38 record. After beating the Celtics in the first round, they were ironically bounced in the semifinals by the Pistons. While O'Neal was able to make the All-Star team for 3 straight seasons following the Malice at the Palace, his play and ability to stay on the floor started to seriously decline. In his final full season with Indiana in 2007-08, he played in 42 games, starting in 34 of them. He averaged 13.6 points, 6.7 rebounds, and 2.1 blocks in just 28.7 minutes per game, all sizable drops for the numbers he put up in his prime. 2007-08 was the first season he would make the All-Star team since 2000-2001, and he wouldn't make any more of them for the rest of his career. He was traded to the Raptors in the offseason of 2008. By the 2008 All-Star break, O'Neal had missed nearly a quarter of the season and had lost his starting spot to up-and-coming center Andre Bargnani. He would be traded to the Heat later that season and would finish his 41 games in Toronto, averaging 13.5 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 blocks. His 2009-10 season in Miami would be his last decent season in terms of his health and productivity. He would play 70 games, averaging 13.6 points, 6.9 rebounds, and 1.4 blocks while playing 28.4 minutes per game. A variety of injuries would further plague him for the rest of his career after that season. He played with the Celtics, Suns, and Warriors up until his final season in 2013-14. From 2010 to 2014, he would play 148 games, 51 games started, posting averages of 7.1 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 1.3 blocks. For the second half of his career, you could argue O'Neal was nothing more than a role player. Despite the late bloom and sour ending of his career, how did O'Neal compare to the other big man superstars of his generation during his prime? Remember, the Hall of Fame is voted by the sports writers. From 2001 to 2007, the top-tier power forwards and centers were Shaquille O'Neal, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, and Dirk Nowitzki. Here's how O'Neal's stats match up against theirs, as you see the graphic here. From 2002 to 2007, Jermaine O'Neal shot almost 46% from the field, three-point percentage not great at 18.4, and 20.4 points per game, among other notable statistics. Dirk Nowitzki, much better, 24.6 points, 2-point percentage of 49.6, efficient field goal percentage of 51.3. Kevin Garnett, more in points per game, 2-point percentage is better at 50.5, efficient field goal percentage 50.1, free throw percentage much better at 80%. Tim Duncan, 2002 to 2007. Surprisingly, not that much more points per game than Jermaine O'Neal. 21.7 points, 50.8 field goal percentage, efficient field goal percentage of 50.9, total rebounds of 11.8. And Shaquille O'Neal, absolutely dominant. 24.1 points, efficient field goal percentage. This is insane. 58.4, 2.2 blocks, and a field goal percentage of 58.4. How bad was his free throw percentage? Pretty darn bad, 51.5. While each of those player stats are clearly a bit superior to O'Neal's, it's surprising to see how close he comes up to matching up with them. Shaq and Tim Duncan are top 10 players in the history of the NBA, and Dirk and KG are also considered amongst the best this league has ever seen. O'Neal is second in blocks amongst them with 2.4, just under Duncan's 2.5. The big difference between O'Neal and these 4 players was sustainability and team success. During this window, Shaq won 3 of his 4 NBA titles, 2 with the Lakers, 1 with the Heat. Duncan won 3 of his 5 titles. Dirk and KG would go on to win a title later in their careers. Also, O'Neal's only real case for the Hall of Fame is his 6 All-Star seasons. Shaq had an 8-year prime going into the 2001 season. Duncan won a championship in 1999, and he was able to develop himself into a championship-level contributor even when he passed his prime, making multiple All-Star, All-NBA, and All-Defensive teams when he was 35-plus years old. KG blossomed an All-Star 5 years prior to 2001 and was an All-Star for 5 of his next 6 seasons in Boston after getting traded by Minnesota in the 2007 offseason. Dirk was just entering his prime around the same time O'Neal was and was able to extend it nearly another decade. To be fair, those four are some of the greatest to ever play the game. So just because O'Neal's career didn't play out the same as theirs doesn't mean he doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame. Some of the center/power forward Tier 2 and Tier 3 stars during that time were Ben Wallace, Chris Webber, and Elton Brand. Here's how O'Neal's numbers measure against them. Jermaine O'Neal, once again, 20.4 points per game, efficient field percentage. This is where it kind of hurts him. It's only at 46%, so he wasn't that efficient of a player. Blocks, excellent, 2.4, and then fouls per game, 3.5. For Elton Brand, 20.4 points per game, efficient field goal percentage. It's better than Jermaine O'Neal, 51.5. Free throw percentage, it's still better, 75.2, whereas Jermaine O'Neal was 73.5. How about Chris Webber? Actually, Chris averaged less points per game than Jermaine O'Neal, 19.6. Player fouls, 3. Free throw percentage, 71. Total rebounds, 9.3. So Jermaine O'Neal actually had more rebounds than Chris Webber. For Ben Wallace, not a great offensive player by any stretch of the imagination. Only 7.9 points per game. But here's what hurts Jermaine O'Neal again. 47 efficient field goal percentage to just 46 for Jermaine. Ben Wallace stands out because he had little to no offensive game. He was, however, one of the most prominent centers in the league during that time frame. He was maybe the best defensive center in the league, making every all-defensive team during that stretch with 4 Defensive Player of the Year awards. He also made 5 All-NBA teams and was recently inducted into the Hall of Fame. The more apt comparisons to O'Neal would be Chris Webber and Elton Brand. All three have similar stats during this time. 2010 players who thrived in the post, pick and roll and mid-range. Webber, who's now a Hall of Famer, had the better career of the three. Like O'Neal, he struggled to find his place early in his career, bouncing from the Warriors to the Bullets/Wizards before ultimately landing with the Kings. But despite this situation, Webber still managed to put up all-star level numbers. From 1993 to 2001, he averaged 21.8 points, 10.2 rebounds, 4.3 assists, 1.8 blocks, and 1.5 steals, shooting 50% from the field. He was also a couple questionable calls away from making the finals. Elton Brand, who's not in the Hall of Fame, has the most similar career arc to O'Neal. He basically had an 8-year apex from his rookie year in 1999 to 2000 to 2006 to 07. A couple games into the 2007-8 season, he tore his Achilles and was never quite the same player after that. He was an effective role player for the next 5 to 6 seasons, but not the star that he once was. He was in essence the same dilemma as O'Neal when it comes to making a Hall of Fame case. Was he dominant for a long enough time to justify him being inducted? After breaking his career down in full, it's time to answer the big question. Does Jermaine O'Neal belong in the Basketball Hall of Fame? To answer a question with a question, would the Basketball Hall of Fame's legitimacy be in question if Jermaine O'Neal was inducted into it? The answer is no. O'Neal had a fine career, a good career, better than most NBA players and even most athletes can say that they had. At his absolute peak, you could have made the case that he was one of the best 10 to 15 players in the world. But as good as his peak was, it lasted between 3 to 6 seasons, probably closer to 3. The rest of his career was at best a high-end role player and at worst injury-prone scrub. The Malice at the Palace definitely put a permanent stain on an overall good NBA career because, once again, it's voted by the sports writers, and when you have negative publicity around you, that can follow you when it comes to Hall of Fame voting. But let's be honest, it's not like it's the only thing keeping him from being a Hall of Famer. Derrick Rose had an incredible peak of his career. He was an MVP who took his team to the conference finals. Do his 3 All-Star seasons put him in the Hall of Fame? Penny Hardaway made 3 All-NBA teams and was the second best player on a team that made the NBA Finals. Does he deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? Not to rag on O'Neal, Hardaway, and Rose's careers, they were all good players who had some great seasons that deserve to be remembered. But when you think of the Basketball Hall of Fame, you think of the absolute best. Guys like Kareem, Bill Russell, Kobe are all players you immediately think of when thinking about the Basketball Hall of Fame because of their prolonged success. Even Hall of Famers during O'Neal's era like Shaq, Dirk, Tim Duncan, and Kevin Garnett were great because of their greatness spanned nearly 2 straight decades. Even during his peak, O'Neal was never quite on the level as those 4. Ultimately, O'Neal had a respectable career that deserves to be remembered, but he just didn't play like a Hall of Famer for long enough to be one. But what do you think? Should Jermaine O'Neal be included into the Hall of Fame consideration? Make sure to comment below and subscribe to Sports Broadcast Solutions.
Are you looking for some good food after a Fenwick football game? Then head on over to O'Sullivan's Public House. Located on Madison Street in Forest Park, O'Sullivan's Public House has daily drink specials alongside a year-round beer garden. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. O'Sullivan's PH offers dinner until 10 p.m. Even cooler, O'Sullivan's offers a late-night menu until 11:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. On the weeknights, O'Sullivan's has a late-night menu until 11 p.m. And for the fall season, O'Sullivan's will offer 20% off food for athletes and coaches following home Fenwick games. For more information, go online to o'sullivansfp.com. Welcome to the Postgame Show, brought to you by SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone. I'm Kyle Smith, a 28-6 win for Brother Rice against St. Ignatius, and I'm here with St. Ignatius tailback Joe Toney. Joe, you guys didn't get shut out. A very cool play call on 4th and 6, but just not enough offensively to beat the Crusaders tonight.
I mean, honestly, we shouldn't have used it. We didn't need it. That's the spot that we were in. We just want to get points on the board. But, I mean, we kind of just make the same mistakes that we always have. And, I mean, it's just we got to fix them. We got to fix them in practice. That's it. We got a whole week of practice now. We got Marist next week, and it's all about the future now.
What has the coaching staff told you about these fumble snaps? I mean, it happens at the college level, at the NFL level, but it's got to stop happening if you're going to beat Marist next week.
I mean, I fumbled 3 times in the past 3 weeks, and 2 last game and then 1 in the game before. And Coach Miller, he's always honest, and he's always honest about it, and it's all about high and tight, and that's all he tells us. And yep.
Did you get a little overexcited on that flea flicker, like, please don't screw this up, please don't screw this up? Were you saying that in your head as your wide receiver was wide open at the sideline?
We've been working on it the whole week, and on Monday I was doing it, and it wasn't working out too well. The ball was flipping on my wrist, and it got kind of better as the week went on, and I knew we were going to do it at some point in this game. Our coach was talking about it the whole week, and then we finally did it, and it worked out.
Big game coming up against Marist. You don't want to fall to 1-3 on the season, especially if you want to make the postseason. Marist played Brother Rice tough, and they beat them 30-24, but they did struggle defensively. They were up 24-0 in that game, then they gave up 24 unanswered points. So you guys can do it offensively against that team, but what's it going to take offensively to score 24-plus points?
Well, first of all, as we said, the past 3 weeks, can't put the ball on the ground. Second of all, we got Wands. Wanzung's coming back next week, and that's a big deal. And Wanzung's a leader. David played very well for us today. And, I mean, I love David and stuff, but we got Wanzung next week, and that's a big help.
Any status on Justin Scott going into next week?
Justin, I think he'll be all right. I wasn't really paying attention, but, I mean, I went up to him, I'm like, you good? And he's like, yeah, I'll be fine, and that's what matters.
Obviously, you don't want to go to 1-3. It's kind of a must-win. I hate to use the terminology must-win because every game's a must-win, but you don't want to go to 1-3. What's it going to take for a dub?
Run the football. run the football. That's what we do. We're going to run it up the middle, and that's what we're going to do against Marist.
That's Joe Toney, and that does it for our post-game show. So for our excellent crew, for Joe Midgel, for Anthony Saragoose, Kyle Anderson, and our excellent crew, including Jared Thomas, I'm Kyle Smith, and we'll see you next time on Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Thank you. Have a